G'day Kiwis and all wrestling fans, especially Wrestling Collectibles New Zealand fans. WWE Hall of Famer here, Bushwhacker Luke. The bloody good news is that on November the 7th, I will be on Chat with Wrestlers via Facebook Live for Q&A and selling and signing photos, action figures, t-shirts, WWE comic books, 2015 Hall of Fame rings, and Bushwhacker Hall of Fame belts, all signed by me and shown to you right there on Facebook Live. Kiwis, I am very excited about talking to you live in my home country, New Zealand. So remember, November the 7th, mark that down now and keep tuned for time of day. See you then, mateys. Oh yeah, whoa, yay!
Alrighty, welcome to the first episode of Chats with Wrestlers. I didn't think we'd have someone of this caliber for our first ever guest, but ladies and gentlemen, we have WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke joining us on the show. I'm bringing in Bushwhacker Luke right now.
Whoa, g'day Kiwis! How the bloody hell are you guys? It's good to be here, back in the old country. Well, it's a new country for a lot of people. Anyhow, guys, it's great to be here with New Zealand Wrestling Collectibles. How about that, guys? And I hope there's a lot of people turning out tonight. I'm looking forward to talking to a lot of you guys. You can ask me questions, and I'll tell you where to go. Anyhow, guys, I'm looking forward to this show. It's 1 o'clock in Florida here. I'm in Clearwater Beach, and then it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I had to get up to talk to you Kiwis, see your smiley faces. And if there's any Aussies there, g'day mateys. How the bloody hell are ya? Anyhow, and for the Americans, if you're up in it at this time of night, well, there's a lot of you up, but you'll be in bars drinking anyhow. Some of you are sitting at home watching the telly. Maybe a couple of you are watching me. Thank you for watching anyhow, guys.
No, that's awesome. And thank you for being here, Luke. I've expressed my gratitude to you multiple times now. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Hey, mate, no problem, mate, no problem. And I'll tell you where to go at the end of the show.
Jeez, I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were friends now.
Yeah, hey. Friends for the night, mate.
I'll take it.
I hear you just, hey, Matt, I hear you just come out of the closet anyhow. So that's no big anyhow. That's no biggie. You're in the closet with all your collectibles, and you decided to come out.
Yes, mate. They're all out behind me just for you.
Yeah. Thank you, mate.
I'm hoping I can add a few more collectibles to my collection here.
Okay, mate.
So just real quick for everyone, how tonight's going to work, or this morning for Luke, is we're just going to do a quick interview at the beginning here, throw some photos up on the screen, have a bit of a chat, hence the show Chats with Wrestlers. And then once we're all done with that, we'll get straight into the virtual meet and greet. There's a few of you guys who have pre-ordered stuff. Thank you for that. It makes things so much easier doing pre-orders. If you want to purchase things throughout the show, the prices are scrolling down below at the bottom of the screen here. And yeah, when it comes time to it, bring those who have purchased stuff up on the screen to do their meet and greet. If you have questions throughout the show, drop them in and we will bring them up when we can. But just to begin with, Luke, you've had a pretty good run in your career, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a long run, and it was a long time waiting to get in the Hall of Fame, mate. But we made it. That's the main thing, mate. It was a long run.
And well deserved to get that ring as well, I think.
Yeah, you know, when it went on Facebook that we were chosen for the 215 Hall of Fame, all the people around the country, mainly the North, said, "Why are you putting those two comedians in the Hall of Fame?" A lot of them never watched us on TBS, Turner Network, and that it was nationwide or worldwide at the time too. But we're only doing half of the country. were mainly working in the South. We'd come up to Philadelphia and Maryland, and work a few places, but we never went up past New York. We did one show in Long Island, which is in New York anyhow, but
Yeah.
we stayed. It was mainly in the South, NWA, and that was a big office at the time. It did all over the country, but mainly below the Dixon line. You know, it was below the line and that. And when we went in and that, and then when we went in the Hall of Fame, we told them that we've been in the business for so long, and we'd wrestled likes of Killer Kowalski, who was selling out Madison Square Garden in the 60s and 70s. We'd wrestled him. Then we mentioned we'd wrestled Stu Hart, and of course
Wow.
the Rock's grandfather. And then they realized that we'd been around a long time.
Yes. No, that's awesome. Definitely a long list of kind of legends in the business that you've just mentioned.
Yeah.
So we were having a little bit of a chat beforehand, and you were kind of telling me a bit about your start in New Zealand, I guess we could say. Do you want to tell everyone who's watching about that?
Yeah, well, I'm cutting it short. I was living in Lower Hutt, which is a suburb of Wellington, across over the bay from Wellington, Lower Hutt, Petone, and that. And my next door neighbour was a bodybuilder, Bruno Becker, and that. And his name was Brian Ashby at the time, and he went into bodybuilding. And one of the judges there was placed in it, and one of the judges, this is a Mr. New Zealand, and he was placed, and one of the judges was a former Mr. New Zealand, 1950. Now we're going back at the time, and he said to my neighbour, he says, "Hey, you'd like to make some money with that body?" And my neighbour said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, there's a gym in Wellington, well, that's 8 miles away, 7 miles away from Lower Hutt." He says, "We've got a gym, well-known gym, and come in there." And that's where we train the wrestlers. And of course, he went in there. Now, after he went into the gym, and he started getting around and pushing around with these guys there. 6 months down the line, or maybe 4 months or 6 months down the line, he says to me, "You want to come to the gym with me?" Now I'm 170 pound wet, and I go to the gym now. This is 1961.
Right.
Yeah, and this is around Christ's time. No. Anyhow, I went to the gym with him, and this gym, I'm just telling you, it was Coolman's up in Cuba Street, Wellington. This gym was notorious. It had a lot of Commonwealth boxers, Commonwealth champions, and champions in boxing, wrestling, amateur wrestling, and all that. There was 2 rings. The floors were hard as the concrete. There were boxing rings, 4 ropes, 20 by 20 inside the rings, and there was a steam room in the back. The pipes would rattle when the steam pumped up. You could hear the pipes rattling in the gym, and there was no machines. There was a bench press and a squat rack, and it was just dumbbells lying around the floor, solid dumbbells. That was the kind of gym, and now I think I went to 1 or 2 wrestling matches to see it, and then I was in Palmerston North at one, and the guy said to me, "A guy never arrived in an early match." Now I'm about 175.
Right.
And the guy in the early match was a light heavyweight match, or junior heavyweight. He never arrived. The next minute, I had jeans on. Next minute, I got thrown a tank top and a pair of boots. And I was in the ring. Now, I don't even remember what happened in that match. How's that? I don't even remember what happened. Yeah, but the place was full. I heard the people yelling and screaming, and that was my first time in the ring. 1962. And that's the start of and my name was name was Ted Williams in New Zealand. And
Okay.
when I come over here, they said there's already a Ted Williams, a well-known guy. That was the baseball player. So I had to
Okay.
change my name to Luke Williams. And that, but my first name was Gorgeous Teddy Williams, and then Jim Barnett, the Australian, the American promoter who started WCW in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 60s out of Atlanta. He went into Australia and started wrestling, All American Wrestling in Australia, and he had WCW over there, World Championship Wrestling. And then I started going over to Australia to do a week at a time. I was getting heavier. I got heavier then by about 67, and that 66 Butch started in the company, and that he didn't start. I started at 62. He was still playing rugby
Okay.
and lifting weights. And he started at 66. We sort of tagged up now and again, not full time, but we did tag up because at that time, up to half time in a pro wrestling show, it was amateurs. This was in the early 60s, and then it was amateurs, and then come half time, there'd be 3 pro matches, a light heavyweight, and then maybe a heavyweight tag and a heavyweight, you know, and with Butch and me, a lot of times earlier on in that, when Butch started in '66, I would work a single. We'd both work singles before intermission. Now singles were 8 5-minute rounds, and
Okay.
the main event was 8 8-minute rounds, and there was 4 ropes. So I'd do a single match. Butch would do a single match, then would come back in a tag, then I'd have the main event.
Oh,
How's that?
jeez. Jeez.
Yeah, that's how it
You
was.
work most of the show then.
That's how it was till about 68, till 68, and that's when a guy bought out the wrestling. Well, he owned another company, but it wasn't working full time. We were 66. We were working 6 to 7 days a week. Up to 66, we only worked when an American wrestler or a European wrestler come over. We only worked
Okay.
then. One might come over for 2 months and then go home. And we do 3 shows a week or 2 shows a week, and then he'd go home after about a month. And then another one would come out a couple of months later. That's how much work I did earlier on in the business. But come
Oh, wow.
66, I was working full time.
That's awesome. So we've just got a couple of people popping in and saying hello to you now. I'll just quickly read some of them out. So we got some guy from Twitch that says hi. It's his friend's birthday today. We've got Mitzi saying hi, Luke. It's Mitzi.
How you
Mitzi
doing,
T.
Mitzi?
Marco. We
Yeah,
got Ruben.
Mitzi's a long. She's from the States.
Okay.
She lives in New Jersey. She's been a
Oh wow.
long wrestler. She's got all the Bushwhacker stuff from the day we started.
Well, good on you, Mitzi, for staying up this late because I know it's late for you. We got Ruben saying "G'day, mates."
G'day, mate.
Eugene Cribb saying Bushwhackers should have been WWF Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, there's a story to that. I can tell you later about that.
Yes. Brett says hi, Luke. Ricky says hello.
How you doing, Ricky? How you doing, Brett?
Mitchell says, hey, Luke, how are you doing over with COVID in the US?
I'm staying quarantined, mate.
Yeah.
I never went to a gym from till the end of February till about a month ago. And now the
Yeah.
gym I go to, it's a big place, about 1,400 square feet. And when I go, there's only about 8 people in it. So there's no one near me.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got to stay safe. Your health is the first and
Yeah,
foremost thing to look
health as well.
Well, definitely. Jay says, my first live wrestling show was Bushwhackers vs. Nasty Boys in '91 and was in Masterton. Coco Beware and Genius were there too. I got licked by both Butch and Luke. Great times.
Great night. No one. Hey, what's his name?
Jay.
Jay, no wonder I don't feel right today. I'm still suffering. I'm still suffering from your COVID.
Back before COVID was known. Dylan says Kia ora, Luke, brother. And
Who?
Dylan.
Kia ora, mate.
And
Kia ora, mate.
And John O'Leary says, hey, Luke.
Hey, John. Hey, John.
That's awesome. All right, so just moving on to a little segment here. As you know, we're Wrestling Collectibles New Zealand, so it'd be a little bit silly to not do something to do with collectibles on the show. So you've had a few action figures in your wrestling career, more than what most people can say that they've actually had. Some people are very lucky to have one. So I was just going to chuck a few up on the screen here and get you to tell us if you know any funny story behind the figure, or just if you actually have the figure, or if you even like the figure. Because, I mean, there's one here which is quite stereotypical to New Zealanders, and it just comes with a whole bunch of fast food. So we got your Mattel Legends 2-pack. Do you remember getting this one?
Yeah, every one I got. WWF sent me one of each, or two of each when they came out. And there's not much story to them. A couple of them we did a shoot to promote them, and but the other ones, they just came out. A lot of them come out, and they've been coming out. They've been coming out in the last 10 years too. The Legend packs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that Legends pack just there that we brought up, and then you've got another one by Mattel which you've actually got for sale tonight, which is a battle pack.
Yeah.
This one sports a green tank top and a kind of tan camo pants.
Yeah, got a few of those here, mate.
Yep. And then we've got your individual Hasbro. You've got one of those surprisingly tonight as well, and it's not Brett Senden it's not Brett Senden that he's trying to sell on your Brett.
No, those ones are very hard to find, mate.
Yeah, and then we've got your 2-pack Hasbro, which I've got out of the card, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then we've got the one that I was talking about just before, which is kind of stereotypical. It comes with all the fast food. Your classic Superstars 2-pack.
Yeah.
So did you ever keep any of those in your career, or did you kind of just get them and give them away to someone in your family?
No, I gave them all away. All of that stuff, I never realized. Well, at the time, I was never a collector of cards of anything. Never collected anything. And at the time, when I got up a lot of stuff in a big carton, I would take it to Make-A-Wish, go to the hospital with Make-A-Wish and give it to the kids there. When I was with Vince, and that I went to a few Make-A-Wish hospitals, quite a few, and a lot of kids were terminally ill. They only had a short time to live. To make them happy, I'd go there. But when I left, I cried like hell to see them. A lot of them were on machines to keep them alive. You know what I mean? They're all and that's why I gave a lot of stuff. And even after I left WWF in 96, 97, and that I still got WWF to send me a carton of stuff, and I take it to the Make-A-Wish in St. Pete. St. Pete's Tampa Bay is a suburb of Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg Beach, and that's where they've got a Make-A-Wish hospital for the kids there.
That's really awesome of you. As Jay says, sign of a true champion by doing stuff like that. You're not expected to do. You're not expected to do any of that stuff when you're going out of your way and doing it past your WWE, WWF career.
Yep.
So now that's awesome. All right, so now we've got the collectible side out of the way. One thing I got suggested by someone who follows the page is to put up a few pictures of wrestlers that you may have either worked with or may know, and if you have a small story or whatever the first word that comes to your mind is, if you can just blab that out at us. How's that sound?
Yeah, some of them I may not have a great story, but there's something with each one,
Yep.
So here we go, mate.
Even if, for example, a different face of me comes up and you want to say idiot, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just anything. Okay. All right. So we'll start off with
Vince McMahon. What a guy. Everybody knocks him because they finish. You know, you have to let people go. They don't realize, the guys don't realize you've been on TV for so long, unless they keep you back like the Undertaker and only show you now and again. See, he's a giant, and he had a hell of a gimmick. So they've had him there for shit, 28 years or 29 years. You know, he came in 91, so that's 29 years. But
Yeah.
Other people, you know, in our era, 10 years, we had to run 9 years to 10 years, and that was a good run, you know, because if you show the same product all the time, just like John Cena was showing, you know, people
Yeah.
fucking got convinced about that. You know, they said John Cena's a hell of a hand, but he was the one that saved the show. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For a lot of the guys, but they hadn't built up anyone to his level. And I
Yeah.
don't think after he's left, they haven't built up. You know, there was Hulk, then there was the Ultimate Warrior, and then there was who was after that? A big name. You know,
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Well,
I'm
they,
looking
they,
at
they, they
names.
always they always just build up the next guy who's going to carry them for the
Yeah,
next 10
yeah, and
years or
then
so.
after the Ultimate Warrior, then there was Stone Cold, and
Yeah.
then there was The Rock, and then there came Cena. They're
Yeah.
the main names that were there. You know, the superstars that stood out like a sore thumb and pulled people into the houses.
Yeah.
So people, and of course too, I bet at one time, this is after a pay-per-view in San Antonio. I'm going on about Vince. Anyhow, after pay-per-view, we went to this bar right by the airport, and Vinny came too. In this bar, we're all drinking, having a bloody good time, and Vince was getting a bit sozzled too. And Animal, this was about, you know, Hawk and Animal. They started about 92, 93.
Yep.
92, 93. Hawk, when Animal went behind him and put his head between Vince's legs and stood up, and Hawk got up on the bar and clothesline Vince off Animal's shoulder in this fucking bar. A month later, we never saw Vince, and next minute we see him with a neck brace on. He had to have neck surgery. He had to have neck surgery.
Oh, so he kept that one quiet until he had to see you guys
Yeah,
then,
but
huh?
that night he didn't feel anything, mate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He was feeling no pain.
Oh,
I
exactly.
know I can't knock Vince. I can never knock him and a lot of guys do, but no, he was good to me and Butch.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the reason I put his face up first wasn't to get a negative reaction. I knew you'd have nothing but respect for him because of past interviews I've seen with you.
Yeah.
So moving on, we were talking about a superstar. People who watch the current product probably argue that this guy is the current superstar. Roman
Is that
Reigns.
Roman Reigns? He came well after me. He came in the 20s.
Yeah.
He came into WWE about 212, didn't he? What year?
Yeah. Around about there, yeah. Kind of at the
And
end of
that
CM Punk,
now
if I know you know.
now I know his dad and his uncle well, Arthur and Seeker. Seeker's his dad, and his
Yep.
uncle is Arthur, and that I know them well. And I've been with him doing a function one time. But he's a gentleman. God bless him too. He had leukemia and he beat it
Oh,
twice.
yeah.
God
Yeah,
bless him.
exactly.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's one thing
All
I
right.
hate. That cancer. Now, Andre. Well, here we go, mate. He came to
Here
New
we go.
Zealand. He came to New Zealand. I think in '69 or '70,
Okay.
and Andre. It wasn't Andre the Giant. It was Gene Ferry.
Okay.
Gene French name. You know the last name.
Yeah.
And
No, I
that,
don't know the last name, but yeah, French.
yeah, and then he was 350 with a big afro.
Okay.
And he'd never been to North America yet. He's from France. He worked in England and all over Europe. And he
Okay.
was a big attraction. And he came down to New Zealand for a month or so. And Butch and me worked with him every night. If I told you what we did, and people went berserk, we'd kick him in the stomach. he would bend over, both kicking. He would bend over, would both put a top wrist lock on either arm. Then he used to stand up. And we'd be just hanging there with the arms. And he would swing to that way. He would swing that way, swing that way. And he would open up his arms like that and then swing
Yeah.
them both together. We'd hit each other, hit the deck, and roll out. The people would be going bananas.
Okay,
Hey,
that's
that
the
was
main thing, right? As long as you can get the crowd talking.
mate. That was wrestling in the '60s.
Yeah.
Now, so I know them from the '60s, right? The first territory I went to was in North America, was in Quebec, Canada. And this was 1972, and that he was the number one. He came in at the start of '72. We came in June or July. He came in January, and he was the big star there, a mighty draw. The promotion was doing. The promotion was owned by the Vachons, and they're the guys that brought us over there to New Zealand. The New Zealand promoter, Steve Rickard, hooked us up with the Vachons, and they brought us over there and that. And when we got there, the main baby face was Andre or Gene Free, and the main
Yep.
heel was Killer Kowalski, who we knew from Australia. Because he's the one that came into Australia in 1965, and when Jim Barnett opened up there, and he's the one that blew it wide open. Yeah.
Cool.
And if you don't know who Killer Kowalski is, guys, he's the guy that trained Triple H originally, and the eighth wonder of the world, China.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next.
Hey, the Fink. God bless him. He's dead now.
Yeah.
And he was a great. And the Fink, Vince used to get us to do promos with the Fink for different towns with sardines, and he used to tell us, stuff sardines down his shirt. These were raw sardines about so long, a foot long, big things. And that, or cans, and when they're all mushy, and we'd open the cans and rub them on him and that, and he'd be in a suit with a white tie and that, and Vince, of course, I won't say the word, but he got off on all that shit. The Fink came in the ring and did a six-man with us against, it was either the Nasty Boys or the Hart Foundation. I can't remember, because they had Jimmy Hart. They had Jimmy Hart as a manager. It was the six-man. And that the Fink, hey, I've got all good things to say about him. He was a lot of fun. God bless him.
Definitely. All right.
Johnny Ace. You know that he was given to us by Dusty Rhodes. Johnny's brother, of course, is Animal. Animal of the Road Warriors, who just died. And Johnny Ace he started before, his brother started in 82, 83. He came in 85. He had a diploma. He graduated in business and had high honor. He graduated with honors, that's what I should say. But he chose wrestling, and that just come into, and Dusty gave us to us as our flag bearer to teach him the business. we taught him the business. One day in the ring, he'd hold the flag and we'd shoot. We were the villains these days, the sheep herders.
Right.
And every night he'd come in and he'd hold the flag up, and Butch and me would stand at attention and ask people for silence. And of course, we used to get booed out of the house and hold the flag and that. And this night I forgot to take my teeth out. And I got in the ring and I said, Johnny, put out your hand. Put the teeth in I put my teeth in his hand. And he was so pissed off, he grabbed the flagpole and whacked me in the ring in front of all the people. A sold out house. The people didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Going into business for himself, eh?
Yeah, Johnny. Hey, we used to rib Johnny, but Johnny was we found him as a good guy, but he was hated because when WCW was bought out by Vince, and that he was running WCW. Well, Bishop was still there, but Bishop was sitting at home while Johnny ran it, and Vince saw Johnny's bio about his business and had brought him in as his right hand man, and he used Johnny to stack all the people. When he bought WCW, Johnny was the one that had to stack all the ones and just keep a few of them. And that,
Okay.
of course, even all the WWF guys. Here's the guy coming in looking about 28, or 30, and that 30 maybe. Yeah, he had to be 35, I guess, and taking over the Vince's right hand spot, and they all hated it. Who's this young guy coming from WCW, taking the right hand? Vince's vice president
Yeah.
of talent relations.
And he's still got that same position today, doesn't he? Or he's still in the back there
No,
somewhere?
no, he was in the office next to Vince then.
Oh,
And then when
right.
Hunter, and then when 2:13, when Hunter came into the office full time, he took that job over, and Johnny is the head of road talent. Finishers and
Yeah.
what do they call them now? They don't call them agents. They call them producers.
Yeah.
He's in
Gotta
charge of
gotta
all the
get fancy
producers.
with those names.
Yeah, because they produce the show, they produce
Yeah.
the matches. He's the head of all those.
Okay.
And he's
Awesome.
living back. He's not living in Connecticut. He hated it up. It was too cold for him.
Okay, moving on to the next one, which everybody should know. I'd be pretty disappointed otherwise.
The Hulkster,
The Hulkster.
great guy. Hey, when I got to WWE and of course Hulk come around the first night, introduced him to us, and he says, "I appreciate you having butchered me on joining the gang," and he says, "Where you living?" And I said, "In Charlotte," because we were working for NWA at the time when we
Okay.
moved. We were living there. The head office for NWA, which was running the whole south of North America, and that the office was was in Charlotte. So he says, "No, you got to move to Tampa Bay." And I lived in Tampa Bay before, but I lived north of the downtown Tampa, about 5 miles north in
Okay.
Hillsborough River, because when I was working for Florida Championship Wrestling, going back to 81 and then 86, I came back there to work after I left as someone. Florida Championship Wrestling, which was owned by NWA then too. They bought out
Okay.
Florida Championship Wrestling. So I lived in Tampa, but he says, "Oh no, you got to live on the beach." So I come over and I rented a place 200 yards from his place on the beach. I could walk down to his place or walk down that. He had boats, but they were on the intercoastal. The piece of land there is about 100 yards to 150 yards wide. The intercoastal's behind it. The water's behind it. It's a strip of land with a bridge to come over onto it. It's like an island. The waterway is only about 80 yards wide. You know what I
Okay.
mean? The bridge comes over, and he had boats that he kept over on the water there that he rented a place to keep them, a boat shed and that. And he used to go and get his boat, come around, pick me up, and we'd go out on days off. Those days we'd work 13 or 14 days on and 3 days off. So
Okay.
those days, I got a lot of stories with Hulkster, but it'd take a
Yeah.
long time to go through them. But he's
It
a
sounds like
bloody good guy, and he had major surgery 12 years ago. He had 10 surgeries in his back, 9 where they effed it up, 8 or 9 where they effed it up, and that putting steel in it. And then the last guy fixed it. Now, a year ago, this month, shit, in a few days, a year ago, he had his whole back done. He had a whole little plastic bucket of steel taken out, and they fused all his whole back. So
wow.
it's taken him a year to recoup over that. And of
Mm,
course, he just had shoulder surgery too. Hey, the back, him dropping that leg all the time has been jamming the spine. That's why his back, he had all that
yeah,
problems with his back. He's 320 pound, 325 pound, 330 doing that leg drop, and he used to get high. He used to get pretty high, with it.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
he
but
definitely got some height.
he suffered from that. But a great guy. A lot of people shit on him, of course. Anyone who's had success, people shit on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, whenever you're at the top, you've got a whole bunch of haters sitting underneath you, so
Yeah,
it's always gonna
but he
happen.
still, I had a gym on Clearwater Beach in the same plaza where he had a shop downstairs, and he still did autograph signings. He used my gym a few times, and he gets lines of people. He
Yeah,
advertises it for a week, for about 2 or 3 months, 2 months, and he gets a couple of hundred people at
yeah,
$150 a pop.
it's crazy.
Yeah, get a photo with him, and a signed pic. So people still love him to death.
Yeah,
He's the
no,
one that him and Randy and two and Roddy and what's his name now? His he got cancer. Shit, God, had a hell of a body. They're the ones. They're the ones that built the foundation for
yeah,
WWF. It wasn't Vince gave them the vehicle, but if it wasn't talent like them,
mm.
WWE would be like it is today.
Wasn't Ultimate Warrior, was it?
Ultimate Warrior came 10 years or, 7 years later.
Right.
He didn't come till 89, 88.
Okay.
And Vince started in 84. And then, shit, I'm looking at the guy.
Oh, we'll move on, and if you can remember his name later,
Yeah,
just spurt it out of nowhere.
yeah, I will. Roddy Piper. Boy, met him in the mid to late. We got over here in the '79. He was one of the first guys we met. When we came to into the States the second time. We came over here in '72, but we worked mainly Canada and just flew to do jobs in the States. From
Right.
Canada. But when we moved completely into the States, there was a Roddy that we were working in Hawaii, and that for Steve Rickard, and we were surviving, living the life on the beach, being on the beach every night, then flying in a private plane to an island every day, 5 days a week. And Roddy came over for a big show there, and he hooked us up. And next minute, we're in the States. We're working in Northwest Championship Wrestling with Roddy and Rick Martel. We worked with them for a year and a quarter, going from singles to tags to six-mans with
Oh
Roddy
wow.
and Rick Martel. And Roddy told me that about 3 months before he passed away, he said to me that we did 22 consecutive sellouts in Portland, Oregon. That was where the headquarters were for Northwest Championship Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny you mentioned Portland. Mitzi DeMarco says, "I remember when Piper shaved Luke and Butch's head in Portland wrestling."
Yeah, he shaved me on a Saturday night, and then Butch came in and put a challenge. He says, chased him out the ring, and he says, 3 times a year, the promoter Don Owens ran Portland on a Saturday night, and then the next Tuesday,
Okay.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days later. So Butch, we sold out with me on the Saturday, and then Butch was on the Tuesday. So Piper did two hair jobs, and we had an army there. And Buddy Rose was in our army, and then we built up for the big one with Roddy and Buddy Rose.
No, those are some awesome
Hi,
stories.
we got pulled over. Short story, we're pulled over, and now we're working for NWA, and we were down out of Charlotte, and we got pulled over in South Carolina one night in a little town about 2 to 3 in the morning, because you had to go from 55, 45, 35, 25, and you'd blow through the town in about a minute. That's how,
Right.
there were no small towns. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We got out of the town about 20 miles out. The cop was there. He pulled us over and he said someone had the radar in the town and they got us. So that cop pulled us up, took us back to town. When we got back to town, the judge lived next door. He took us to the courthouse and the judge was walking over in a dressing gown and slippers. We went up, we went right in front of the judge and we got fined and those little towns, if you didn't pay your fine, they take with you then they take your driver's license off you, your actual plastic
Mm.
driver's license and put it up on the wall there and if you got caught with no license you go to jail. So we scraped up the money to pay the fine. And when we come out, the judge was doing the paperwork, and about 4 feet away, 5 feet away, there was a window there. If he turned around like that, he could look out. There was Butch and Ronnie pissing up against the window. If he looked up, he would have seen 2 streams of piss and 2 heads. He was doing the paperwork. That was that. The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Mark. Now there's another good, nice guy, real gentleman and that. I remember when he came in and they got that gimmick on him, and then they got Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
A great guy. Good things. No ribs or anything with. I never got into any ribs with him, or was around him with any ribs or anything. But he was a great guy, and he's still there. His body's all shot because every time he goes out, he still does crazy stuff.
Yeah.
When he does the WrestleMania, I think he does a lot of appearances for WWE all year, but he does one show every year, and he
Yeah.
does shows in Saudi Arabia. Vince
Yeah.
does 2 big shows a year in Saudi Arabia, and he goes over there and does the show there.
Yeah. He's definitely on a limited schedule now, but you wouldn't expect anything less from how long he's been there for.
Yeah, a big man like him taking bumps. It's it's hard on the big guys like that.
Definitely.
Dusty. Now, I was with Dusty and that I wrestled him when I was booker in quite a few, 2 or 3 territories before. After first booking job was for Tully Blanchard's father.
Okay.
Southwest Championship Wrestling. We did a show in Spanish and English, and I brought Dusty in a few times with Blackjack Mulligan to work. I'd already worked against Blackjack Mulligan and Kelvin Sullivan, a few times in Florida Championship Wrestling. And here I am now working against them and that. And I worked for NWA. George Scott was the booker there in '81, and that and we left in that and. We left giving them 6 or 8 weeks notice, and we didn't know. You didn't give NWA notice. The head office owed us. They gave you the notice, and they tell you, we'll finish you up at Christmas, and then we'll bring you back in 2 years. Well, we gave them notice. We were doing 25 to 3,000 miles a week in the car, and we got a job in Puerto Rico doing 3 nights a week, making the same money. So we
Oh,
took
wow.
the job as South America, Puerto Rico, and that and Jim Crockett, the president, he didn't like that. Anyhow, Dusty wanted to bring us back. Dusty took the book over in '84 there, and he wanted to bring us back in there. And every time he said no. And that in the end, we were in Florida. We come back between territories, and we were working in Florida Championship Wrestling in between 2 territories. And Crockett bought it out, and we were the champions there, so he had to bring us back into the fold then. Whether he liked it or not, but he brought us back into the fold. And I remember Dusty saying in '67, '66, no, 67, 68, he says, this business will be, pardon me, guys,
You're fine.
this business will be a televised business. It'll be pay-per-views and television only. And that's what it's ended up like.
Yeah.
You know, I think from now on, Vince is just going to do televised shows. He's not going to do any more house shows, but house shows for television when this pandemic goes and pay-per-views. And everything will be televised, and that's it. Dusty foresaw the business.
Yeah.
He had a great brain.
Yeah.
He had a great brain for the business.
It's awesome.
Ric Flair. You know, right up till this day, Ric Flair still accuses me of putting a pair of women's underpants under his wife's pillow. We're having a party at his home, and his wife was away at the time, and all the guys, we had girls there, and what, you know, in NWA there was wild parties. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the top bracket guys.
Yeah.
You know, all the main guys like Sting. Well, Sting came in later, but earlier on, and that I can't. A lot of them are gone now, but and dead. But he still accuses me to this day of putting a pair of women's underpants under his wife's thing. Hey, Rick Party. You know, I think if you ever saw that ESPN show, that was the shoot. He partied, and when they gave you the bar, you know, last call for alcohol, he would go and get a tray of shots, maybe a $500 tray or a $300 tray of shots to give all the boys, and that before it closed. And then he would get up in the morning, get on the stairmaster, and sweat his ass off. And then at night, you know, a short match with him would be a half an hour. I've seen him him and Greg Hammer do hour 30, you know, 90-minute matches. I hate those long matches, mate. You know, I've done a few half-hour matches in 95 degrees. And that's, you know, 95 degrees, even 30 minutes is hard.
Yeah, I bet. No, Rick definitely loved the party.
Rick was a wild guy, mate. He partied, you know, and there's a lot of stories of them, you know. And a few, and I think over the time he lost quite a few Rolex watches, passing out, and someone taking them off his wrist, and then he had to go and replace it. Otherwise, his wife would say, "What happened to your watch?"
There's probably a whole lot of stories with Rick that you're not allowed to tell as well.
A lot of stories, mate. I can't knock him. God bless him. He's alive, mate. Hey, Shawn Michaels. Hey, now here's one thing. You know, Shawn was a tag team, and then they split them up, and Marty and they wanted Shawn and to go as a single and that. And Marty, they didn't give Marty. Marty was a good worker too, just as good as Shawn. And anyhow, they gave Shawn the push. Now, in 1994 and 95, we were working in Madison Square Garden. Razor's a heel. Big Sexy's a heel. Kevin Nash. Shawn is a baby face. And Triple H. You know, these are the four. It wasn't the clique yet. It was the forming of the clique. You know, and in that clique was, of course, the 1, 2, 3 kid to X-Pac.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the show at Madison Square Garden. This was the last night for Kevin Nash and Razor Scott Hall. You know, at the end of the night, whoever worked, it was either Scott Hall, fucking Shawn came to the ring, Triple H come to the ring, and you heard, the curtain call. And Vince, of course, his mouth was wide open. You know, this was his town, and that's funny that then all of a sudden bloody Triple H was on the bottom of the card again. Triple H, and of course Shawn stayed. The other two left.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sean, I think, may have been the champion at the time. Or Brett. No, Brett was. Brett was.
Okay.
When was the screw job? What year was that?
Oh, someone in the comments will definitely know. That was just a little bit before I don't even think I was alive at that point. But
80. I think that was 90. That was 97, maybe
yeah, I was
96.
gonna say 98.
98, yes, because we weren't there then when the Montreal screw job was. But that's when the building Sean. After that time in Madison Square Garden, the curtain job, that the Hunter was back down on the bottom of the card. They were been
Yeah.
building him up slightly. He started in about 95, 96. He came from and he was Hunter Her, Hunter
Hunter Hearst
Hursley.
Helmsley.
Yes.
And you were right, it was 97. I don't have any ideas.
Yeah, that was 97. I knew it was around that time, but we just left. We left at the end of 96, early 97.
Yeah. So Brett was already in WCW by the time it was 98.
Yeah, Brett, yes. I know him Bret Hart since 1973.
Oh, wow.
He was only 13 then, 13 or
You done a
14
bit of
then.
training in the dungeon, didn't you?
I never worked out there, but I've been there and seen Stu stretch people.
Yeah. Cool. And then the last person, I'm not sure if you actually know this guy at all.
That's no good SOB. But we're doing a book every Wednesday night. We're with the author. We're doing on WhatsApp. We're doing a three-way. A three-way. I don't know who's going to sandwich the three males. Belly to back, belly to back. Belly to back, belly to back. Anyhow, we've got a book coming out next year called Blood, Sweat, and Cheers. And if people don't understand that, we were one of the bloodiest tag teams in the 70s and 80s, and then Sweat, of course, and then the Cheers are when we went into WWE and we became the good guys. That's the name of the book. That's the reason why it's Blood, Sweat, and Cheers.
That's awesome, and yeah, well, once that comes out, you got to let us know when the pre-orders happen, and we'll help push that for you.
Yeah, now the book is not a bio. It's road story. It tells a bit about some of the matches, but it's road stories.
That's cool. That's cool. Sometimes road stories are just as good. And then
they're better than listening to the wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got 4 photos here, which are a moment from you and Butcher's career. Same situation. If you just want to say a word about it or give us the backstory behind it, whichever one you'd prefer.
You can pop them up, mate. Give me a look there. Is that Jonathan Boyd? Who's that?
Yes, I believe it is. Yes.
Let me come around and look, mate.
Yep, you're fine.
I'm slow and easy. Remember that, girls. I'm slow and easy.
There we go. The comments are already saying that they can't wait for the book.
Butch, I'm looking there now, mate.
Yep.
I've got my eye out for you. Yeah, that's Jonathan Boyd. Butch left me in 1981, and that his wife gave him the crying sob story that it was bye, and that. So he left me. He'd had her over in Canada with us in the 70s, and he had her over in 70. His family was in 72, 73. They were over in Montreal. The kids were one of three then. And then he had them over again in Portland, Oregon in 79, the family. And then this was about 81 or 80. He gave them the bloody thing. He hopped a plane and went home and got it back together. the marriage back together. And Jonathan, I had to look for a guy who had a down under accent. Now, Jonathan was an Aussie, and
Yeah.
he'd been around the States. I met Jonathan in the 60s, because I worked in Australia, plus he worked in New Zealand. The
Right.
New Zealand promoter used to bring over Aussies and call them Americans. anyhow, um, anyhow, Jonathan was one of the royal kangaroos, the original kangaroos, Al Costello and shit, I forget his other name, Roy Heffernan. They were the original kangaroos that started tag team wrestling in Madison Square Gardens in the
Okay.
60s. And then the Royal Kangaroos come over in the mid 70s and that, or early 70s, and that they were both from Australia. Norman Charles III and Lord Jonathan Boyd. So I called Jonathan up, and they had split up, and I'd called Jonathan up, who was living in the Northwest in Portland,
Mm.
Oregon, and I says, I need a partner. We, as the sheep herders, you want to come down and that, and with this was I was in Puerto Rico at the time, and he flew down, shaved his head. He had hair down to past his shoulders. He shaved his head and came down as a sheep herder. Jonathan Boyd, one hell of a talker on the stick.
Yeah.
One hell of a talker. He knew how to talk and stir those Americans up. He'd worked against Americans a lot in Australia, doing jobs for them. When he come over here, he made sure they did jobs for him. And what I mean by jobs, that means going down.
Yeah.
He was tough in the ring with them as tag team. Every time I went to tag him in, they'd grab me, even when I was on top of them, they'd grab my arm and pull me away from him. They didn't want me to tag him in. He's deceased now, but he was one hell of he was an animal in the ring, and he was a vicious talker. And then he got super. He looked the part when he talked, and he even had and of course too, he had heat in the dressing room with all the boys.
Right. So now we've got a moment of you and Butch at Madison Square
Yeah,
Garden.
now that's in Madison Square Gardens. That referee right behind Butch is Gorilla Monsoon's son. Now
Right.
we were doing a double shot, and that we did the afternoon shot, and we had to go down to Maryland for the evening shot. And he was in the car with a manager. I forget the manager's name. He's from Memphis.
Okay.
Little skinny guy, and they got in a car wreck, and Gorilla's son was killed. He was
Oh
one
no.
hell of a guy. Yeah, and that shot's in Madison Square Garden.
Awesome. And for anyone there's still obviously people watching, that is available as a 8x10, which can be purchased here tonight.
Yep, I got that right.
Yes. So our next one, the Bushwhackers at WrestleMania.
Let me let me see that.
So this is when Butch, I believe, had just taken Jimmy Hart's jacket off of him as he was trying to get out of the ring.
Was it the Nasty Boys or
Yes.
was it
No.
the Rougeos? The Rougeos.
Possibly. Hang on. Yes, that's the one. Yes. Yep. You're right.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we did a thing with the Rougeos. That was the second tag team we worked with when we came into the WWE.
Okay.
The first team was the Russians,
Right.
Boris and Nikolai Koloff, who we came over to New Zealand in 1990 and sold out Auckland, Waynes and Christchurch with.
So what was that WrestleMania experience like for you?
Oh, that was great, mate. But the first WrestleMania experience, well, it was a different feeling, mate. It wasn't like it wasn't like the other WrestleManias because it
Yeah.
was in Trump Plaza. They had two of them. Vincent sold the show to Donald, who's fighting to be president at the moment, to stay in the presidency, and he sold the show. It just took the pay-per-view, and the people that went to Trump Plaza had held 8,000 the room. Like here, he
Right.
paid five million for the show. Anyhow, and then he got paid-per-views on top of that.
Mm,
But the people there was who was who in show business. You know, everyone there was dressed. It wasn't like a casual audience. It was collar and ties and that, and it
right.
wasn't the noise like the real true wrestling fans,
Mm,
because the cameras were going around the crowd, and you know there was there was pop singers, main pop singers. There was all the stars, Hollywood stars, all that sort of people were there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they weren't screaming and that. You know what I mean? So the noise factor wasn't like the other WrestleManias
Yeah.
in the plaza. There was noise, of course, but not like that. But of course, it brought a lot of people to Trump's casinos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Atlantic City's a place where you come for a holiday, you know, and it was in April, and you know, the winter was just slowing down, and it was spring, and a lot of people were coming there because at that time, Atlantic City was on fire. You know what I mean? Not burning, but it was business-wise, it was on fire.
Yeah. No, well, at least you can say you went to WrestleMania, right? There's some people who can never say they've done that.
No, you know, a lot of them, we weren't on the main show, but we were pre-show. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And we were a lot of shows like that. Pre-show the Mania.
for sure.
It's not like the Mania now where they have a lot of matches. They would only have a couple of
Mm.
pre-shows. They only have one or two matches, maybe three.
Oh,
Two.
speaking
Now they've
from
got,
personal experience, it's very hard to sit through all those matches at the stadium.
no, it's they want to make it a 9-hour show. It's too much.
Yeah, definitely. And being there in the crowd, you actually don't get to see any of the pre-show. The only things you get to see is the actual two matches over the 3-hour pre-show. Everything else you don't get to see in the crowd. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a long show, long night, but a good night.
Yeah.
Your Hall of Fame induction.
The Hall of Fame. Hey, it was Matt. It was about bloody time.
Yeah.
As I said before, when they saw it, they said, "What are those two comedians going in and that?" But when we got up there and told them and that, well, you know, the people in the crowd there, it was a sold out because we had a good list of people going in there, you know, and yeah, it was just the thought of going in there. And God bless it, Bush had just had a hip put in 3 months ago,
Yeah.
3 or 4 months before, and he was still, you know, he had no hip for 4 years. They didn't have a hip on him, and he was on double crutches, on a
Yeah.
walker first, and on double crutches. And he was still on double crutches when he came there. You know, with
Yeah.
being on double crutches for 4 years, he got arthritis in the lower back.
Oh no.
Arthritis goes to all the places where you've got injured. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
but hey, there's an old saying from New Zealand. He was an old dog for the hard road. You know what I mean? He got
Yeah.
up there, he swung those crutches, got up there
Oh
and that.
shit, yeah.
And of course, right before us was Larry Sabisco. And Larry
Yeah.
went over the same thing 3 times. And I looked through the cord under the fence and I saw Bruno. He brought that up 3 times and he kept going back. So Vince said to us, "Go out and hit him." And we just did about 9 minutes. But and in the end, we brought up 4 different people doing the Bushwhacker. We brought
Yeah.
up Bret Hart. We brought up Bret Hart. We brought up Jim Duggan. He didn't march right up, and he's pissed off that he didn't. He says that now. And we brought up Roddy Piper, and we brought up Ted DiBiase. They're all good friends of us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that pops it off. And of course, at the end of it, Butch licked me. We built it up to the end where I pushed
Yeah.
him off, and then he gave me the big lick, and the people popped.
Oh yes. I still remember watching that live.
Huh?
Well, not live in person, live on TV. I mean, watching that your induction.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Awesome to see. Your time in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, well, we were bought. Short story, we were brought in there, after WWE, this was in 1997, they said, you want to come in there, and they brought us in there as Dudley cousins from down under.
Okay.
Cousin Butch and Cousin Luke from down under. We were Dudley Factor. Now, they brought us in for that weekend. It was a three-run show in Florida. It was just outside of Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and somewhere else. It was 3 shows. And that when we finished up with that, what's the name said to us? We'd like to, are you interested in coming in? And we said yes, because there was hardcore stuff, like what we've been doing before WWE.
Yeah.
Not crazy stuff, but blood and guts, barbed wire, fire matches, what's the name, cheer on a pole, all
Yeah.
sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we said yes. And then all of a sudden, a week later, or 2 weeks later, he calls us. He says, I need you next weekend. And I says, I need you next weekend. And I says, we've got booked for all these indie promotions who've been looking after us for the last year. And that,
Yeah.
well, at least we have to give them a month's notice so they can get someone else. And he said, well, we don't need you then. And that was
Wow.
it. Because these other indie promoters who had us on their marquee, all of a sudden, if I told them, I was supposed to work next Saturday, I can't come,
Yeah.
down the road, if they finish us with that company, well, we wouldn't we may not get work from these indie promoters again.
Exactly.
They say the boys from down under are not to be trusted.
Yeah. And then the other thing is people talk, right?
Yeah, but there was a good opportunity for us to make some money and that and do what we did best,
Yeah.
because he wanted us to work set it up and end up working with was it the Dudleys to work with, what's the name, man?
Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon.
Yeah, but the guy that drank the beer with the kendo,
Oh, Sandman.
Sandman, and I think Tommy Dreamer or someone.
Oh wow.
He wanted us to working a program and come back with these guys.
Jeez. Can imagine the bloodbath you guys would have had.
Yeah, we would have had good matches with them. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Easy.
definitely.
That was easy for us.
Yeah. All
But
right. And then,
there's an opportunity. There's quite a few opportunities in the business that I didn't take. I
yeah.
after the fact. There's one that I really didn't take where I missed out on making a fortune, and but we can talk about that later.
For sure. And then the final one, your final tour of New Zealand, where you had your match against James Shaw in IPW, if you remember that one at all.
Ah, yes, that was, it was, hey, what a worker. There's a
Yeah.
kid, he won't work on his body. He won't work on his body, because I had him on about that. I said, fuck, you get further. You know what I mean? But, hey, incredible. That kid, I worked with 218. I worked with him at 212 too when I went over there. He
Yeah.
worked on shows with me. Mate, he was magic.
Yeah. No, he's
You know,
definitely very good. He's just reinvented himself and become this like godlike character.
has he?
Yeah.
He's been around. He's been around since 210.
Oh, he's been around for ages.
Yeah, maybe longer than that.
Yeah. Oh, No, you probably right on the money there with that 210, maybe slightly
Yeah.
before.
Now the other guy that who was good too, and they don't like him so much now, but he came home. He works in England, and he got a body, and that a Kiwi who works in England, and he was with that company for years.
Oh, is it the one that was with WWE, but we shouldn't really talk about anymore?
Why? What's his
Travis?
name? Travis. Why? That no one likes him.
Nah, he's got in a bit of trouble. I think we'll just leave it at that.
Did he?
Yeah.
He works for WWE, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did. He worked for NXT UK.
He doesn't work for them now.
No, he's his past has caught up to him, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah. So on that note, it's time for the meet and greet. So Luke, do you need to go get a drink or anything after you're talking or refresh yourself at all? You go do that now, and I'll.
Boy, I've been talking too long, mate. What the fuck? Yeah, hey. Okay, let's get on with the let's get on with the show. I've got all these goodies here. There's Q&A here. While we're doing a Q&A, mate, I can be showing some goodies I got here. I got comic books. I got an original hat from the 80s. Look at that son of a bee. Original Bushwhacker hat with us supposed to butcher me on the head. It's from the 1980s. Original WWF hat. A one-off. Got photos. I can show you the photos. I got books, and I've even got this lunchbox where you can put all your if you got broken toys, loose action figures, you can jam them in here. And this lunchbox has got about 40 people on the cover. I'm going to tell you, I just thought of Bam Bam Bigelow, Sting, Trish Stratus, Lita, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake, Bret Hart, Honky Tonk Man, Big Boss Man, Booker T, Undertaker, Kurt Hennig, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Davey Boy, Yokozuna, Lex Luger, Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase, Shawn Michaels, Big Sexy, Andre the Giant, The Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Randy Savage. They're all on this box. So it's a good item to get it and then start getting it signed.
So just real quick, we don't have the Hall of Fame rings tonight, do we? Because there's been a postage issue. Is that correct?
No. Yeah, I got my one on my hands here.
Yeah. So anybody who's pre-ordered one, don't stress. We won't be sending anything back until your rings have arrived and they've been signed.
And I'll sign
anyone,
them.
anyone who I'm sorry, carry on, Luke.
Yeah, so anyone that buys rings, I will get on personally on WhatsApp with you one-on-one and sign the box with you. You can give your name and number to or email, and I can text you or email you, and then we can set up a time, and I can sign it one-on-one when the rings come. How about that, guys?
Awesome. Yeah, so one way or another, guys, you'll still get the virtual meeting.
And you'll still see me signing them.
That's awesome.
Cheers, mates.
So if there's anything you guys are wanting to order, now's the time to start doing it. I will have a Facebook tab up, so if you're friends with me on Facebook, feel free to shoot me a message there, or just message the Wrestling Collectibles New Zealand page. I know we've had a couple of people ask for things already, but
I'm good.
I've missed them.
Now, Matt, I'm not going to. This is the last time I'm getting off my ass, and I'm going to show you the photos.
Cool.
This is number 4. Hang on. That's the one in the ring. That's the one in Madison Square Garden. The Gorilla Monsoon son.
Yep.
Number 4. Number 3. Two handsome guys. Butcher myself.
Yep.
Number 2, this is the biggest seller that I've been as a single that I've sold. The bamboo behind me.
Cool.
And number 1, the younger generation love this chair
You're
shot.
fine. It's awesome.
Chair shot.
All right, so we've got a couple of different options there. While you're standing, Luke, so we don't have to get you up and down all the time, do you just want to quickly show the shirt and the hat a bit closer to the screen? And what was the price on that hat again? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
What was the US value of it?
The US value was 100.
100 US. So
Yeah. Now let me look. I think I've got it here. Hang on a minute.
that's fine. So that's 150 New Zealand dollars. All right. So anyone that wants that hat, that's 150, and that includes it being signed.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw in a photo, of it too. Look on the top. On the top, it's got the See the top? Butcher me on the top. It's got the WWF sign on the side.
Give you the bigger screen here. Hang on. There you go.
Yeah, there's some WWF. See, Butcher me on the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
And were you saying that comes with a 8x10 as well, or that was just a photo on top? Okay, so there you go, guys. Pretty good deal there.
And that now of course, this is the Hasbro I've got one off.
It's not your one, Brett. He's not just selling your one on you there.
It's hard to get. These are hard to get. Very hard to get.
For sure. And then you've got that WWF shirt in the back.
Oh, you got these. You got these. I've got these. Anyone who wants these ones, this is the Classic Wrestling limited edition.
Yep, and that's definitely a very good figure. I brought that myself.
Yeah, and then I've got these. Of course, I've got battle packs. You already showed them the battle pack, right?
Yep.
There's the battle pack.
Yep.
And then I've got these comic books. I'm going to show you.
Cool. So anyone that's into the old school stuff?
These are all new, brand new, still sealed up in the container, in the packet. And then here's the Battlemania. The one I just showed you is the Nasty Boys, and the comic book is the story of the Nasty Boys wrestling the Bushwhackers.
Someone's just put in the comments there. That's the Nastyville comic.
Yeah, and here's Battlemania.
Awesome. All right, and so again, guys, all the prices are scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. If there's anything there that doesn't have a price, because I think there's 2 or 3 items, just drop a comment and we can figure that out.
I'm going to show you shirts now.
Yep. So anybody who's pre-ordered stuff, you would have actually received a link to join the stream. I can see there's a couple of people here already. If you guys want to start queuing up on the live stream here, and once Luke is ready to go, we can bring you in.
These shirts, I've only got large and extra large. This is the original ones from the 80s. Bloody lovely, tell your mother. Large and extra large. And the shirt I'm wearing, whoa, yay, that shirt there, I've got men's, large, medium, large, and extra large. The one I'm wearing.
Okay, cool.
Shit, I better hold my stomach in. That's it.
Don't worry, mate. There's a reason I'm sitting down here as well.
Yeah. And of course, I have to show this up close.
Have to show the lunchbox. Awesome. Looks awesome. All right, so yeah, again, if there's anyone that wants anything, just shoot either my personal Facebook a message if you've got me on your Facebook, or message the Wrestling Collectibles NZ Facebook page. Don't message Instagram because I'm currently using my phone to stream, so I won't see it, unfortunately, and you'll miss out completely. But why don't we start off with the box of stuff that we've sent in to you, Luke? We'll get that out of the way, and it might excite a few people to spend some money on you for being here.
Okay. I've got this.
Oh, that's my one.
That's the
Classic
wrestling.
two-pack.
Yeah, this is the wrestling classic. Is this yours?
Yes, that's mine.
What color do you want? I've got paint pens. I've got red, blue, dark blue. I've got orange. I've got light blue. I got green, yellow, and purple.
I reckon, why don't we go yellow with that one with the paint pen?
They tell me you're a yellow guy.
So again, guys, if you have any questions as well, chuck them through. As Luke's signing stuff, we can ask him, and he'll either give you a straight answer or he'll tell you to bugger off. It'll be one of the two.
Any questions, guys?
Where did the Bushwhacker name come from?
WWE gave it to us because they wanted to own us.
Yeah.
You know.
Were there any sheep herders shirts ever released?
No.
No.
Maybe NWA may have had some.
That's awesome. Thank you very much for
Can
that,
you
Luke.
see it? Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it. Yep, no, that's awesome. All right,
Okay,
so let's put that back on here.
The next one I got here. It's the
Legends 2-pack. I can see this man smiling from ear to ear, so I'll take myself off the screen here, Luke, and I'll bring Ruben in.
It's already got. It's to Ruben, right?
Yep. So yep, Butcher's already seen that one.
Do I need to put Ruben on it or not?
I'll bring Ruben into the call here, and you guys can have a chat about it. How's that sound?
Okay, Ruben.
Hey, Bushwhacker Luke, it's such an honor to be able to share the screen with you right now. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for staying up so late in America. It's amazing.
No, it's fine, mate. It's fine. It's fine. I'm still watching the elections.
Full
Anyhow,
on.
guys. Yes, it's still going on. Trump won't lay down.
No, they're not going to lay down very easy.
Okay,
so
mate.
in that box somewhere, I included a white paint pen in there.
A white
in the box.
Is Butcher's? Is that in white? White paint
Yes.
pen that Butcher's in it? Okay,
Yes,
then let me look.
Awesome.
I've got a white paint pen too. So I'm just going to look in here to see what goodies I have.
Awesome, thank you, Luke. I also included a letter in there. I'm not sure whereabouts Matt packed that, but that might make things a bit easier for you.
The letter. I can't see a white paint pen. I've got a white one in here. There's no white paint pen here.
Matt, whereabouts did you put the paint pen, if you're still there?
Yep, there definitely should be one there. It'll be in a Ziploc bag in the bottom.
No, there's silvers. There's silvers in the. It looks like that one was silver. but nevertheless. Anyhow, I'll get the white. I'll get the white.
Awesome. Thanks,
Hey,
Luke. I
you're a
definitely
white.
think it might have fallen to the bottom or something. There should be a couple other snap lock bags in there.
Butch looks like it's in silver.
Oh, Butch was definitely in white.
I got a white pen here. Now I got to open it.
Awesome. Legend. Thank you so much, Luke.
And then Ruben,
Now,
just
mate,
make sure you let him know.
do you want
what
your
else you've
name
got in
on
that
it?
box.
Yes,
You want
please. Could you please put to Ruben on there?
It's already, Butch has got to Ruben. Ruben.
Yes, that's right.
Let me get this white. I've never used this white pen yet. Let me just get it running.
That's right. And could you please sign it at the top as well? How Butch has signed it?
Oh, fuck Butch.
Awesome. You're such a legend.
Stop it.
Now, I have a little bit of a question for you. Talking about WrestleMania before, it made me think. A few years after that picture that Matt showed you, WWE brought you and Butch back for a gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania 17. What's the story behind them bringing you back for that? And do you have any interesting stories?
No, but that was in Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we were working that weekend. This was a bit hot. He wanted us for the whole weekend, and we said we're already been booked for 2 days. We were booked Friday and Saturday on the West Coast. We got a red eye straight after the thing on the West Coast and flew during the night down to Houston. And and we were the first WWE. Hang on a minute. I was riding the sheep herders.
All right.
How's that?
Oh, wow.
No, bullshitting you. Anyhow, mate, we were the first guys out in that in that battle royal. So that was unreal when we came out to the people. Okay, Ruben, I'm coming around now to show you. Butch never put Hall of Fame anything on it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luke. It's such an honor. I was really meaning to fly up to America to meet you in person, but this has made it so much easier. So that looks brilliant.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
That's the down under saying, brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. You haven't forgotten any of that.
And then just make sure
when I go to England,
point out
every time I go to
Ruben.
Ruben, every time I go to England, all they say, "Oh, that's brilliant."
Yep, it's such an easy habit to pick up on there. Man.
So any other questions, mate?
Oh, yes. So Matt just reminded me. I sent in a couple other things for you to sign. They should be in snaplock bags somewhere. A few little cards and bits and pieces. If that's easier to get it all out of the way now.
Okay. I've got. I've got this card. Butch has already signed it. Sheep herder. Butch, is that yours?
I believe so.
The Monty Gum card.
Oh no, that's not mine.
No, that'll be the next person's.
Now, here's your guys then. This is your guys. There's two things.
Yes, that should be the one.
Hang on a minute. Can't get the bitch out of the fucking I can't get the thing out of the package.
Oh no. Sorry, I packed it too good.
Here it is.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, it's a postcard.
Yes. Oh, back in 1989. That used to belong to my dad. It's been passed down to me. He was a big fan of you also.
And there's this little one too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Is there a black Sharpie in that bag for you to sign it?
Yeah, Sharpie.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so
Awesome!
much. And
There
another
should
question
also
I
be
have.
those 2 custom cards there too, Ruben, right?
Right, yeah. There's also one other Snaplock bag with other, or 2 more Snaplock bags, if I'm not mistaken. So just one other question. You've come back to New Zealand a couple times over the last few years, and you've worked with some of our younger talent. Who would you say is your favorite that you've worked with over the past 10 years or so? Or of all time, who's your favorite Kiwi to work with?
In New Zealand?
Yes.
Oh, the kid I worked with last time, we just talked about him.
James Shaw, yeah, he is so entertaining. He is so good.
Yeah, no, there's another kid too I worked with in Lower Hutt in 2012, and I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I've been told the same story. I can't really remember. Travis was one of them.
I think if he was from Auckland too.
Well, yeah, can anyone help us out in the comments?
All the good workers in New Zealand come from Auckland.
Yeah, that's right. That is very true.
Yeah, the ones down the Wellington and that, there wasn't too many good ones from there.
Well, not anymore, at least. They've all moved on.
No, the ones that were from Wellington moved to Auckland to
Right, yeah.
further their career.
Yeah, that's where all the big stuff happens in New Zealand. If you're not in Auckland, then you're doing something wrong.
Well, I don't think there's another promotion which is a good promotion, and it's in Queenstown and in Chicago.
That's for SPW.
Yeah, they have some great shows, great talent. Well, they use Auckland guys too.
Oh yeah, they've come so far in such a short amount of time. It's amazing. They've even been on TV over here for a few shows. It's amazing.
Have they?
Yeah, they're incredible. Amazing to watch.
Was this your letter? I know.
Yes. Well, maybe.
No,
That should be it.
there's no letter here.
Oh, was there no writing on there?
Yeah, but it's just content. It's just got content.
If that's my one, I think I stapled it together because it was a big piece of paper. It was just.
Oh, this has got here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Luke. Thanks for everything you've done for the wrestling business, and it would be awesome to meet you. Oh, no, this is Ruben. Hey, Ruben, fuck it, don't put me over because I have to start working on my neck to carry my head.
All right, I'll stop it. I'll stop it. Just a bit starstruck there. I'll leave it at that.
Please.
It's not often that we get to meet legends in this part of the world.
I've done your cards here, mate.
Thank you so much.
And your doll. And your action figure.
Would there be 2 more Snaplock bags in there, perhaps? I've sent in a couple more cards.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Ruben is one of your biggest purchases tonight, Luke.
Huh?
Ruben is one of your biggest purchases tonight.
And these cards here with a silver pen. Are these yours?
Yes. If you can you please sign near the bottom in the dark area?
I hate these. I hate this photo. That's a hit. No, it's okay. They put it out. I don't know why, but that's a heel photo, not a bushwhacker photo.
Oh, Wow. Okay. It's big
No,
flag.
no, no. But I'm saying the way I look. That's what I mean, mate.
Yeah, I love the expression. And these ones don't need inscriptions. These ones will be fine. And so I love what you were saying before about all the charity work you did with kindly donating all your figures that you've had made of you in the past. With these cards that you're signing right now, these are actually going to benefit charity. We sell off trading cards like custom made and autographed, and they benefit Starship Hospital up in Auckland.
What hospital, mate?
Starship Hospital, the children's hospital.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Starship
Yes, they don't.
Enterprise.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
You said Starship. I said Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Such a massive that. Yeah, the work they do over here is incredible.
Yeah. Okay, hang on a minute.
I apologize if I'm making things harder for you with separating everything into their bags.
No, you've got me online here. You're really burning me out.
Must be hard enough being up early hours.
No, I'm up this time of night. This silver pen is not the best.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The selections with the silver ones, they're not good. They're not good. They're the best ones I could find.
Yeah.
Do you stay up early for many of these signings?
Beg your
Or
pardon?
are they? Do you stay up early for many other signings, or is this just special for New Zealand?
No, this is a New Zealand one.
That means a lot. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't see that silver pen. Let me get another silver pen. It's a shit.
Yeah, sorry about that, Luke. Have you done many signings like this over this past year, where it's virtual?
I've done about 4 of these. What I'm doing now.
Oh, good on you.
Okay, I've done those two pair. Those two. Now, did you have one more?
Yes, it should be one more snaplock bag. Sorry, I'm taking up a lot of your time here.
You're burning me out. Now, what's in the other one?
There should be 2 more cards with a different pen in there. It should be like a similar card, but it's got like a dark blue pen.
Yeah. Fuck,
Awesome.
you got it all down to a T. Dark blue pen, yeah.
Once this whole pandemic's out of the way, would you like to come back to New Zealand anytime?
Butcher's coming here next year for a whole month. And then I hope to be coming. I hope there's someone to bring me down there where I come to Australia and New Zealand.
That is awesome, man. It'd be great to see you guys together again. I'm sure the convention Armageddon over here would be happy to have you.
I've been there already. But he didn't want to. He brings people over twice. He doesn't want to bring. I've never been there since I've been a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, that's another selling point right there. Who is it that I think they brought Honky Tonk Man down here twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duggan. He's bought Duggan twice. I gave him the
Yeah.
names for these guys. I gave him the name for them.
Oh, that's awesome. That
No,
is really awesome.
but he won't bring me back again. And if he does bring me back, he pays him big money and offers me peanuts because I'm a Kiwi.
Well, he's missing out on a lot of business by not bringing you back. I think the more legends that can be brought back here, the better.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like you can get signings every week, like in the States. Once a year if we're lucky.
Yeah. Well, he runs Armageddon in quite a few places now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in Auckland, Tauranga, Christchurch.
Wellington, and then the ones in Australia.
Oh, I didn't realize the same person.
I work for them in Australia too.
Oh, yeah. Is it the same person?
Yes.
Ah,
He runs Armageddon. Okay, mate, I've signed it all.
absolute legend. Thank you so much for your time, Luke. That should be.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's been an honor.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. I've seen your face long enough. Have a good day, mate. If I was there, I'd give you a good head. If I was there, I'd give you a good head licking. But I'm scared that you got the corona.
You don't have to worry about me, mate. No, it's been such an honor. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, mate. You're most welcome. Okay.
All right, now you got my ugly mug again.
Huh?
Now you've got my ugly mug.
Now I've got this too here that Butch has already signed.
Yes, so
This
I'm now gonna bring in Brett.
see this?
Yep. So that's Brett, and also the original like little trading card thing you had at the beginning is his as well. That's been signed by Butch. But Brett will tell
This
you.
one.
Looks right, yes. But Brett will tell you more about that, and I'm sure he's got a couple of questions for you here as well. I'll bring Brett in now.
Hey, Luke. How are you, mate?
How you doing, Brett?
Good, mate. Good. Yourself?
Whoa!
Whoa.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I can hear you clear.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, can I see you though? Are you there?
See me?
I'm joking with you, mate. I can see you too.
Whoa, yay.
Yeah, hey, mate, keep those arms down. You haven't used any underarm. You can't. I can smell them from here. I can smell them from here. Oh, you're trying to show me the guns. Anyhow,
Hey, great of you to do this, mate. Great of you. Appreciate it.
Is this yours?
That's mine, yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to sign it. Butch signed it in red. What color do you want me to sign it in?
I think I gave you a yellow paint pen for that, Luke.
Yeah.
Yep. Go yellow on that and just whatever you want.
I'm going over here. I'm going over here on the WWF thing.
Yeah, if you think it'll work, go for it.
Yeah.
Just you can write something similar. Just put,
he's got G'day Brett.
You can put to Brett, tell your mother.
Tell your mother, F-O, F-U. Okay, mate.
It's up to you. Hey, Luke, how well do you think the Bushwhackers licking people gimmick would go over in 2020 with COVID-19?
That's scary, isn't it? Is it double T? Is it double T?
Yeah, double T, mate. Not like Bret Hart. I've got 2 T's instead of 1. Can you hear me okay, Luke? Because one of my mates just said my mic sounds far away.
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, cool. One of my mates just texted me and said my voice was sounding far away. So no, that's all good. Must just be at his end. Hey, I've got a question for you if you can answer at the same time.
Yeah.
How did you were you okay with Jonathan Boyd and Rip Morgan using the sheep herders name in around '85 when they did their CWA run in Memphis?
Yeah, well, I can't remember. Yeah, I was. They didn't even tell me. I don't think.
Oh yeah, because they were running as the sheep herders in Memphis. I was watching a few matches. I think you guys you and Butch were you in Mexico or Puerto Rico?
Puerto
Or
Rico. Puerto
yeah,
Rico.
that's right. So they never run it by you first.
I don't know. No, because Jonathan. I should have. There it is, there, Brett.
Oh, nice, brilliant.
Okay, mate. I did it. I had a hell of a run in Memphis with Jonathan in 1982.
Ah, yeah, you did too. That was in the early '80s. Some of my favourite matches actually the ones you had with Stan Lane and Steve Kern back then
They're
as
the
well.
ones.
You did a series with them, and the Fabulous Ones.
So yeah, I did a
That's
long series.
some of
Now,
my favourite
listen,
tag matches of all time, mate. Those ones.
are they?
Yeah.
Now this is a 1986 Monty Gum, the Sheep Herders. Is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine, mate. If you could get
Okay.
silver to work on that,
Yeah, I'm going
like
to.
Luke, like Butch has.
Yeah, Sheep Herders.
That's the one. That's a hard one to get hold of.
Fuck.
So do you remember in when was it? In must have been in the WWF run. I think when you were feuding, 92 it was, with the Beverly Brothers. They gave you a manager called Jamison. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Jameson,
So
yes.
yeah, so who played Jamison? You remember who that
That was
was?
Jameson. Vince got him. Vince
His
got
name
him
was
from
actually
Broad.
Jameson.
Vince got him off Broadway.
Ah, right. Off Broad, he
He
was an
worked on
actor, Broadway actor.
Yes.
Wow.
I've got to do this in white, mate, because
Okay.
the thing didn't come out too good.
Okay. White's fine. Just do it in white. That's cool. So who were the stiffest workers that you ever worked a tag match against, do you reckon?
Hang on.
No, all good.
The stiffest.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hey, a lot of guys we work with till we got them to work properly. We work with a lot of green guys. The nasty boys when they came. The nasty boys when they came in to WWF. They were still
Yeah.
green. The Beverly
Yeah.
Brothers. A lot of
Yeah.
teams. A lot of teams till we got them to work properly. You know, Vince put us in there to work with these kids to get them to groom them.
Yeah. I think the Nasty Boys are quite stiff in general because I remember them working a match with the Steiner brothers in WCW, and they're throwing potatoes then.
the Steiners fed them back the same. They wouldn't let them get away with it.
Man.
Yeah.
They're one in my top five tag teams with you guys, the Steiner brothers. They're one of my favourites.
Were they? Now here's a tag match to go and watch, mate. 1986, the Crockett Cup in the Silver Dome in New Orleans. The Sheep Herders against the Fantastic.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen that match?
I have, yeah. I've been. I watched them all on YouTube at some point in time.
That one got 5 stars. You know, and they said it was one of that year it was one of the better tag matches.
Yeah. Oh, you guys put on some good shows back then. Yeah.
I enjoyed being the villain, but I made much more money being the likable sheep herders.
Being a face and as the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, you see, the NWA, mate, you were known as a wrestler. WWE, you were known as a celebrity.
Sports entertainment, eh?
There's a big difference, mate. You know,
Yeah.
You know, when you're in the NWA, you get people who shit on you and say, it's all folks and that. And WWE people come up to you, businessmen will come up to you and thank you for entertaining the kids and their grandparents and families, everything.
Yeah.
You know, Yep. It was a different ballpark altogether. And of course the money was different too, because we had merchandise.
I was going to say your big payday would have been as the Bushwhackers in the WWF.
Yeah, those days was good.
Yeah, that's
very
awesome.
Good.
You deserved it. You deserved it after your career in the territories. I tell you.
Yes.
Looked like hard going.
Yeah, that we did a lot of miles. Some territories, UWF or Mid-South and that, 3,500 miles a week. You know, you're doing a lot of miles. Huh?
UWF was Florida?
No, Mid-South. It was out of
Mid-South, yeah.
Bill Watts' territory. Yep. Louisiana, Mississippi, a bit of Texas. We used to go right from the Silver Dome in New Orleans right up to Kansas City, and St. Louis. You know, that's a long way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an old bugger, so I remember watching some of that stuff. My dad used to show me some of that stuff. So.
Yeah. How old are you, mate? How old are you?
46.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good on you. You're still there. Good on you, mate. Are you in Auckland?
Yeah, Auckland.
Auckland, yeah. I'm from Wellington, but I lived in Auckland.
Oh, yeah. Most people do live in Auckland, I think. That's about a third of the country.
I lived in Herne Bay.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
That's a very wealthy area now.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I can't afford to live there.
And even Ponsonby, they tell me that's changed a lot too.
Yep. That's only the wealthy live in Ponsonby.
You're joking?
Yeah, no, it is. That's a very affluent area now.
That was very Polynesian when I was there.
I lived in Grey Lynn in the early 90s, and it was very much, it wasn't very. Now you can't afford to buy a house there.
Yeah, in the 60s, I was wrestling, but I worked in a nightclub on Cranky Happy Road.
Oh yeah. pretty rough back then, I'm sure.
You know what sort of clubs there was on Crankhappy Road?
Clubs.
They were all titty bars along that road.
Yeah. There's still some there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyhow,
hey,
mate,
Luke,
it's good.
Luke, I think there's a watch there as well.
Yes, here.
That's mine too.
Okay, sign it. What do you want it signed on the back?
Yeah, black Sharpie. Got one? Or there should be one.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I've got a few of those watches. I'm wearing one at the moment, actually. See?
So I hadn't seen one of these for years. Maybe 20 years.
I've got 3 of them.
25 years.
I can send you one if you want one.
No, I'm fine, mate. Is the one you got going?
The one I've got here is going. I took the battery out of that one to send it to you because I can't send. But you're not supposed to send batteries in the post.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
How
I've
did you
got
get
one
Butch?
here. I've got one
How
here.
did you get Butch to sign it?
Oh, my friend of mine, Shannon Goff, is writing his book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got a few things signed for me by Butch. That's how I got the Hasbro figure signed as well as a watch and the card.
Yeah.
So I've sent stuff down there a few times.
You know, Butch is writing a book with me too. Did you know that?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you said before.
Yeah.
Is it what is it? Blood, sweat, and cheers.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll buy that for sure.
Yeah. A lot of good shit in that.
Yeah, it's not blood. I thought it was blood, sweat, and beers.
No. Cheers. It's our days in our days in the 70s and 80s, blood and sweat, and then the cheers of the WWF days.
Definitely, you're definitely getting big pops then.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time, Luke. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, mate. Stay healthy.
Yeah, likewise, man. Look after yourself. Hopefully, see you out here sometime, eh?
Yeah, I have to come and do my final matches, my dinosaur matches.
That's the one. We're keen to see you.
Okay, mate.
Bloody good,
Have
mate.
a good
Nice
one. Have a good one, mate.
See you, mate. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
All right, stuck with me again. All right, so Pucky and Manny, could you guys please start to queue up in the queue here? While we wait for them, we've got Mitchell Fowles, who is going to buy one of your T-shirts off of you, the Well Year ones.
Well, what size?
An extra large, I think, but we'll get Mitchell to confirm that with you when he comes on. Is that fine? Is that fine?
Yes.
Yep. All right, cool. I'll leave now and bring Mitchell on.
Hey, Bushwhacker.
How you doing, Mitchell?
Really good, mate. How are you doing?
Bloody love you, tell your mother.
Well, hear that, Mum?
Just get on with it, Mitch, quick.
Really good to meet you. I don't know if you remember, but I met you when you came into an IPW show where you wrestled James.
When I wrestled James?
Yeah, James Shaw, when you wrestled him. I met you then at Here He Is, mate. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. I like that guy a lot. He's a hell of a hand.
He is. He's actually one of my best friends. So yeah.
Is he?
Good. Yeah.
Oh well,
yeah.
I gotta instead of putting him over, I'm gonna put him down. He's a shithole. He's a shithouse.
I agree. He can be like that sometimes.
No, I'm joking, mate. He's a hell of a guy. I enjoy him. He's fun to be around, and he's a good hand in the ring. I've known him since 212.
Yeah.
First time I came down there, and then he was in the Auckland show and the Wellington show.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy, and a good hand in the ring. Very good.
He's very good.
So when you see him, tell him hi from me.
Oh well, I'll see him tomorrow because he's wrestling tomorrow, so I'll make sure I tell him you say hello.
Oh, that's right. They're going to show tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah. So all I want is that the shirt that you're wearing, like one of those. Just yeah, if you could sign it to me.
What size?
XL, please.
Okay. Let me go and into the bag of goodies and find one.
All right.
Did you get a ring, Mitch?
No, I got a shirt.
Oh, the rings have been delayed. The clock is 41 years old. She's got very, very low self-esteem and confidence after she had.
There it is, mate. I'm going to sign it now.
Awesome.
And they picked her up and tried to throw a shop window.
So if you just write to Mitchell, would be cool.
You want your name on it, okay?
Yeah. Because I got a few of some merchandise, like I got the hat behind me, and I got some signed when you were here, so I'm going to frame it.
Okay.
She looks unhappy, and they reckon she's about 46 years of age. She's only 41. And that's her there. She's 41. And the other one's a 51-year-old who they all thought was 60.
How many L's?
2. So you coping all right with all the COVID stuff around? Keeping safe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going. I'm staying away from everyone, mate.
Yeah, I was the same because I'm in a wheelchair, so I got to keep safe. Yeah.
You got to keep safe. You got to stay safe and healthy, mate.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Mitchell?
No, but I might bring my dad over because he's a big fan of yours.
Oh, so, good.
No, he doesn't want to. He's too shy.
Ah.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the Bushwhackers. So yeah. Thank you. Come around. That's awesome. Yeah, I can see it. Thanks. Thank you heaps, Luke. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
And thank you for staying up this. What's the time there now? 3 in the morning. So thank you for
It's
doing it.
it's 4:10.
Oh God.
Go to bed, man.
Yeah, thank you for staying up there,
You're
mate.
welcome. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
All right.
You have a good day. You have a good day, Mitchell. And when I come over next time, I hope to see you.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll make sure I tell James that you say hello.
Yeah, tell that blonde. And what color hair is he now?
He's still blonde.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, mate. Give him
All right,
my
thank you.
regards. Tell him I'll give him a good head licking next time.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
I'll give him an ass kicking and a head licking.
Yeah, I want to see that. I definitely want to see that.
Okay, mate. You have a
All
good
right.
one. Be safe. Be safe and stay healthy, Mitchell.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so now we have Parky coming on. He's buying off of you a Hall of Fame ring, which unfortunately isn't here, but that's okay. He's going to get an 8x10 off of you as well. And I believe he's going to get a comic book off of you. He's just sorting out the payment for that now. So, Parky, if you could just send through a confirmation of that payment, and then we can get that comic book signed for you. But other than that, Luke, he's just going to get an 8x10 for the minute.
Yeah. What number?
He'll jump on and tell you. He hasn't actually told me which one yet.
Okay,
But
mate.
he'll jump in and have a chat.
Kia ora, Luke.
Hey, mate.
Good. Thank you very much for doing this. Really appreciate it. Eh?
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Are you living in Auckland? Are you living
Yes.
in Auckland?
Yeah, West Auckland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
West.
West Henderson. Hey,
Henderson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, my first wrestling show was when you guys came over and did the thing against Nasty Boys main event in the Rotorua. I think it was in 1990.
1990. Yeah. That's, can you believe that? 30 years ago.
I know. I was only 3 years old.
Are you joking?
No, this was my first. I've been a wrestling fan since then, since early.
Yeah. Your mum and dad take you.
My mum and dad took me, and my brothers and sisters.
Oh, Jesus. You were 3. So that makes you 30. That makes you 33.
About to turn 33 at the end of this month, man.
Yeah, God bless you, mate.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Unbelievable, huh? That was 1990.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a question for you. Who came up with your guys' name when you wrestled in Puerto Rico?
The Los Pastores. The Los Pastores means sheep herder.
So they just translated it.
They just translated, yeah. The keeper, Los Pastores is the keeper of sheep.
Ah. Pasture.
Yeah.
Also, another question. Did you ever work with Bruiser Brody?
I worked, Bruiser Brody, his wife, Barbara, is a Kiwi.
Yes.
Yeah, I still keep in touch with her. I was a booker in San Antonio for Joe Blanchard, Southwest Championship Wrestling. The booker is the guy that runs the show for the promoter. He writes the TV and does the back of the house. The promoter does the front of the house, like the advertising, and looks after the front door. Anyhow, Bruiser worked for me a lot there in Texas because he's from just outside. He's in Brookville. That's about 25 miles out of San Antonio. That's where he lives. And then I used him a lot in Puerto Rico. Him and Abdullah. Abdullah I know for years, since the 70s.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
what about Stan Hansen?
No, I met him, of course, but I was never around him.
Wow.
Oh, one show. Yeah, when we did a big thing in Puerto Rico, and him and Brody were against Carlos Colon and Abdullah. But apart from that, I was never around. But they were big. They were big time in Japan.
Yeah,
Hanson and Brody, they made big money in Japan, and I
yeah.
think Hanson's wife is Japanese.
Oh wow, all Japan, yeah,
Huh?
all Japan. That's where they were at.
Either all Japan. They might have worked for Barber's company too earlier on.
Yeah,
You know
awesome.
that was all Japan. New Japan was Anoki, and all
Yeah,
Japan was Barber.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I make music as well down here, and I saw on Wikipedia that you guys appeared in Insane Clown Posse music video.
Yeah, we did that in about 1998, I think.
How was that?
That was good. You know, they run wrestling shows. They run a thing, but usually it's in a big field every year. They didn't do it this year, but they run a thing, and they usually draw the gathering. It's called. They usually
Yeah,
draw 30 or 40,000. They have all bands and they have wrestling.
yeah, that's awesome. The Juggalos.
The Juggalos, yeah, so you've heard about it, right?
Yeah.
It's a big dope infested party.
I bet.
And the funny part is, mate, what's your name again?
Pucky.
Who?
Pucky.
Pucky.
Yeah.
Spell it.
Paki.
Oh, Pucky. Paki. Okay. Okay, Pucky. Anyhow, they hire a farm or go on a private property so the police can't touch them there. And that because it's a private property. But the police, it goes right through the night. This thing's about 4 in the morning. The police are waiting outside so to catch people who are drunk or intoxicated with drugs. I don't know, but the police usually wait around. I heard.
Sounds like after All Black game.
Yeah, sounds a bit like Woodstock. I never worked it. Once I was booked for it, but I don't know what happened. But if all of my friends have been booked on it. It's a wild, it's blood and guts. That's the sort of shows they put on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So another one, I'm not going to try to get too deep with this, but who do you think is going to win the election? It's kind of obvious, but who do you want to win the election?
I wanted Trump to win it, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. The poor guy's they've spent a year, 4 years, and they spent 800 billion. No, so many billion trying to the Democrats trying to get Trump on different subjects and court and everything. They haven't helped the Democrats. You know why they hate it? Because the Democrats have been in Congress for a lot of them have been 40 years, 50 years, and they don't want. See, he wants to get all the people who have been in Congress. He wants to change them, give them only an 8-year run, and they hate that because they're all making money. All the projects done in the country, these old guys are getting backhands. So they hate someone. They hate someone who's not been a politician running the country. He's a businessman. He's not a politician.
Yeah.
And he did good for the country. There was less people out of work. He created so many different jobs, and he did a lot for the country. But they don't see it. All the younger people see and hear is how he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And he's caused coronavirus. He's caused it to get worse. He opened up the country because the country would have got broke. If they stayed closed up, we would have gone broke.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of propaganda about him, but you're right. He's done a lot of good as well, and the media fails to cover that.
Yeah,
because
no, the media all around the world hate him.
Yeah,
Butch lives in Otaki, or just outside of Wellington, and he
yeah,
tells me the media there, everybody hate everybody, every country where I've got friends and I talk to them, they
yeah.
say the media, everybody hates them. The
Mhm.
media's got them like that. The
Yeah,
media's
that's
got it
right.
like that.
Yeah. Did you meet him when you guys did WrestleMania 5 at the Trump place?
Yeah, we met him there, and then when he went in the Hall of Fame, I met him there again with Marlon Maples.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so Luke, we've just had the payment come through for the comic book. I believe it was the red one that Pucky wanted, and he's also got a 8x10. So,
Yeah.
um,
Show me.
you figure
I'll
out
get the
which one you
book.
want from Pucky.
Is this the comic book?
That's the one.
Yeah, that. And what was the other? Now I'm going to show you the photos, mate.
Yeah,
Number 4,
yeah.
Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3,
Mm.
number 2,
Mm-hmm.
number 1.
Mm. I think number 1 is the one, my man.
Okay, mate. Two Pucky, P-A-K-I, g'day, mate. Bush,
Yeah.
WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke.
Yes, please.
Okay, mate. Now the book, you just want it signed. You don't. Do you want your name on the book or just sign it?
Now, you can put my name on the book as well, please.
Okay.
Really appreciate this again, bro.
Anything else? Any questions, mate?
No, no more questions. Sorry, man.
No problem.
But yeah, you definitely have to come back and do a show, bro, before
Yeah,
before you finish doing the whole thing. You gotta come home, man. We're waiting for
yeah,
that. We're waiting for that. Yes.
yeah. I'd like to come next year.
Yes, that'll be awesome.
a question that's just popped in, Luke. Do you have any funny road stories you can share?
Any funny road stories? A lot of things happened. A lot of road stories, mate. When I was in Oregon, when I was working against Piper and Martell, we used to travel in Buddy Rose's van, and they used to start arguing about things, and that next minute we stopped the van, and they'd have a foot, they'd bet who's fastest, and then Buddy Rose then wasn't 350, he was about 245, and I'd have to butcher me and have to mark off 40 yards. Over here, all the guys in the NFL, the football, they do the 40 minutes, the 40-yard sprints. You know what I mean? And that we have to mark off the 40 yards, and they'd have that sprint. Then we'd have to mark off the 100 yards, and to see who wins. And it was they're crazy. They do crazy shit. You know what I mean? All the time.
The 40-yard dash.
There's a lot of stories too, but I don't know how many if there's kids aboard, but a lot of stories with women and all that sort of stuff.
Oh man, you have to save them for the book.
Yeah, okay, Parky.
Thanks a lot.
See that?
Awesome.
And here's the photo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you.
You're welcome, mate.
Well, that's me. You take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll see you next year, yeah?
Yeah, I hope to be there. The Butch is supposed to be coming. If the pandemic slows down, Butch is supposed to be coming here for a month, and that's so in March. So I hope everything slows down and we start moving around again.
Yep. Fingers crossed, bro. You take care, yeah?
You too, mate. You take care, Puppy. Take care and God bless. Stay healthy. Stay healthy, mate.
All right. Now we've got Manny coming in. He managed to score, and I say that quite literally, the Hall of Fame title belt in a raffle.
Yep.
So I'll bring in Manny, and he can discuss what he wants on there. It might just be your autograph. He might want some form of description, but I'll let you guys talk about that.
Hey.
Hey, Manny.
Hey, how's things, brother?
Okay, mate.
That's the story.
Doing okay
that's the
there?
story. Yeah. I've missed a little bit of tonight, but I'm here now, so I'm keen to ask a few questions.
Yeah, let me go and get the belt now. What do you want put on the belt, mate? Just the autograph, or do you want anything put on it special?
Oh, no, up to you, mate. If it's an autograph, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, usually with a belt, people don't want their name signed on it. They just want WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke.
Oh, you might as well add my name as well.
Okay, then. So once you put your name on it, you can't sell it. See, a lot of people keep them for a long time, and then they're worth more value, and they sell it. But if you put your name on it, you can't sell it.
All right, mate. Leave my name off it, eh?
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, fair enough.
There's more value on it, as time goes on, the belt will be worth more. And I'll put your name on it if you want me to. I'm just explaining you that.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, leave the name off then.
Okay then. What is your name again, mate?
Manny.
Manny. Manny.
Easy one.
Easy one, mate. I'm just getting the belt.
No worries,
hey, Manny, I've got to go and make it. Hang on, I'll be about a year.
You still look healthy, mate.
So just while Luke's off doing that, guys, we're getting kind of towards the end of all the pre-orders here. So if you wanted to actually order anything, now is kind of the last chance to do so. Forgot to mention earlier, Mitchell, you might want to jump in on this one since you've got a t-shirt already. There's a combo deal for 8x10s and t-shirts. I can't remember what the price was, but off the top of my head, it was about $80, $85. So yeah, along with the things that's at the bottom there, there's that. But yeah, pretty much getting to the last call here, guys. So if you want anything, jump on it ASAP.
There's the belt, Manny. I'm just going to sign it. Okay.
Awesome stuff, bro.
Hit me with some questions.
All right. Yeah, my questions are just based around New Zealand and the influence you guys had on I guess a lot of the culture during that time. So I guess my first question is like what's the feedback that's come from New Zealand over the years?
Well, I know you've got a new prime minister. No, the same one got in. The same one got in, right? Same woman got in.
That's it.
But you know, when I left there in 1972, and I left New Zealand in 1972, and the end of 75, I come back to do a wrestling show. When I left New Zealand, we just had 2 channels or 1 channel at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And when I came back in 75, they brought me back to do On the Mat. That was the wrestling show on television. It was done in Christchurch, On the Mat.
Nice.
I just can't. Ernie Leonard was the front man on the show. And we came back to another season there and stayed in New Zealand for a short time, and that for a few years wrestling around the country, and then we came back to the States.
Nice.
Yeah. Now the feedback in New Zealand, I can remember that everything closed when I first was there wrestling. Everything closed at 6 o'clock. All the bars closed at 6. Everything. If you're staying in a hotel that have a house bar, and if you lived in the hotel, stayed there, you could bring a guest up to the house bar. You know what I mean? You could have 2 guests.
Yeah.
From outside. That's old school, yeah. And and then when I came back in 75, 76, I bought into a nightclub with my best friend, and that apart from Butch, and then and we were open till 3 o'clock in the morning. Then, and then of course, the bars were closed. I think at 11. Then it was 11 o'clock closing in the bars, or 10 o'clock.
Oh,
I can't remember. Yeah, maybe 10 o'clock, because we didn't open till 10, and we closed at 3. We're open for 5 hours, and only 3 nights a week: Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Shoot.
And that changed. And then later on, I heard that the bars were open 24 hours. I couldn't believe that. But then they cut back now. The bars, what time do they close now? 3 or 5?
Oh, yeah, about 3 o'clock, most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 24 hours for a short time. Did you know that?
Nah, mate, that would have been a party though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because growing up back here, I mean, you guys were pretty, everyone knew about you in terms of the culture and wrestling, and I don't know, it was quite bigger in the 90s especially. And so, even till today, Still t-shirts around, posters. Yeah, it's still pumping.
Yeah, in 1990, WWE was on Channel 1. Which, yeah, and it was it was on the local show. When I came back in 92 or 93, 91 or 92, that was 1990. When I came back 91 or 92 to do a show, and that they had the television. Television wasn't on the station anymore. They said it was too violent. Starsky and Hutch was more violent than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh? It was too violent.
Too much of a good show.
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, now I'm going to throw you a photo. I'm going to throw you a free photo in because you bought
Oh,
the belt.
cheers, man. Thanks, Luke.
Let me
Appreciate
put
it.
this down. Let me put this down, and then I'll get you the photo.
Awesome. Nah, cheers, man.
You got that? That's number 4.
Yeah,
Madison
man, that's
Square
a beauty.
Garden. Or you got number 3.
Yeah, I'm not fussed, Luke. Whatever one.
Number 2, and I'll show you number 1.
Would I be able to grab number 3?
Number 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers, man.
You're welcome, mate.
So yeah, what's the time where you are?
Now it's 20 to 5.
Shit.
Yeah, Manny.
Oh, awesome, brother. Thank you.
To Manny. G'day, mate. WWE Hall of Famer. 215 Bushwhacker Luke.
Awesome. Thank you so much, bro.
Okay, mate. You're welcome.
Ah, awesome stuff.
Hey, you take care, mate, Manny. And I hope to see you in a
Yeah.
You in Auckland? Are you in Auckland too?
Just down the road in Hamilton.
Hamilton. Okay. Yeah. Not too far. But I hope to be over there next year, and that to do my final show. I'm an old bugger, but I still get in the ring.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, I'll be there for sure, mate.
I don't bump around much. I just do a lot of arm swinging, ass kicking, and head licking. How's that?
Sounds good, bro.
Okay, mate. You take care, Manny. I hope to see you there when I'm over there next time.
Awesome. Thanks, brother Luke.
Take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Take care, brother.
Cheers, brother.
Love you, man.
Thank you.
Bye. Manny.
All right. So we have one more purchase, but they are not able to come on because they have a screaming baby. They've purchased your hat.
The hat.
The hat. Yes.
Now, I signed it. I guess I signed. Matt,
Yes, so they were.
Matt,
I don't have a hat near me, but basically they were wanting like
Matt.
the area that's kind of bare between the top logo and the bottom logo to be signed there.
Not on the beat. They don't want to sign on the beat.
That's not what they said, but they are watching live, so they might change their mind now that you've mentioned that. But what they were
Because on the
saying
front,
was to get it done here.
on the front, it's got the Bushwhackers. You know,
Yeah.
over the whole front.
What do you want here, Alex? You should still be listening. While we wait, Luke, do you remember what the deal was that you wanted to do for a shirt and an 8x10 combo? Was that 80 New Zealand?
Hang on a minute, let me look. My shirt. My shirt, 70, yeah, 80.
80. All right. So, yeah, Mitchell, if you wanted that, just send me a message on Facebook or something. Yeah, I forgot to tell you it before.
Hey, guys, we've got other deals going on, too, at the moment. You get a free photo thrown in, any of these dolls, any of these action figures, lunchbox, and that, you get a free photo thrown in.
Awesome. Okay, so, yeah, he wants it on the beak of the hat now instead, now that you've mentioned it. And
Yeah.
he would like it with a white paint pen.
I got a white paint pen in my hand.
And he just wants it your normal 2015 Hall of Fame Bushwhacker Luke.
Okay.
It sure is Alex Gibson's, Brett. you always knew he'd get the FOMO if he didn't buy anything. Surprised he hasn't jumped on that Hasbro yet. So a question we have here is, do you have any memories of crazy fan brawls in Puerto Rico?
Of any what?
Of any fan brawls in Puerto Rico?
Oh, many of them, mate. I got sliced. I've been sliced in my arm, and then I had to go to court. I had to have an interpreter and all that.
Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of things. I had some.
What was the price on your Hasbro, Luke?
The Hasbro there, $195.
$195 New Zealand, Alex.
Yeah. The paint is sucking into this thing. I have to do it. I'm doing it now, and then I got to do it again later.
Yep, that's cool. Alex is getting itchy for that Hasbro. Okay, that's cool, Mitch. Just wanted to make sure. Didn't want to rip you off with a $10 8x10 being missed out there. Another question someone asked is, what was the reason for the color change in your gear?
Just it was time for a change. Hey,
Yeah.
Vince didn't like that.
Right. We've got some people trying to convince Alex to buy this Hasbro off you, Luke.
Yeah, but we got everything going. Tell him I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go to bed. I'm here for the long run. What time is it there?
It's 9:45.
Fuck, it's early.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Alex? Even Morgan's popped his head out. You might need to cut a promo on him, Luke, to get him to buy it.
What's his name?
Alex Gibson.
Now, 195. Okay, Alex, what the hell's going on with you, mate? Have you got a bit of scotch? Got a bit of scotch in you? Deep pockets, short arms. How, Alex, you're not even answering me. Put him in the room. Matt?
Sorry. Put him
Put
in.
him in the room.
I've been trying to get him on all night, but he's using his child as an excuse. Says the baby's screaming.
Or bring the baby on with him.
Oh, there you go, Alex. He's gonna hate me tomorrow.
Do you know him? Do you know him?
Yeah, he lives about 15-20 minutes up the road from me.
Like Kiwi.
I know.
Come on, Alex. What can I do for you? I'm going to throw a photo in with it.
Well, Ruben, one of the first people who came on, Brett, just said, Luke, sorry, said that this is more entertaining than sitting through 3 hours of Raw.
Come on, guy. Is that who's that? Ruben?
Yeah, the one that purchased everything off you at the beginning.
Yeah. Now, Alex, look at Ruben. He's a nice guy. What can I say about you? Can I call you nice? Or do you want me to call you something else? Because I've called people, I've called a lot of people a lot of nasty names.
Alex is going, I've already got his Hasbro, and if he's coming next year, I can get it signed then.
Oh, okay then. He's already got a Hasbro coming.
You know, he already has one in his collection. From what he's saying, it's just not signed, obviously.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill me when he sees me. That's okay. Oh, he's got the hat off you anyway.
Yeah.
So, is there anyone else who wants to purchase anything here, guys?
Yeah, guys, come on, come on, have a look around what we've got. We've got we've got another championship belt. We've got the Hasbro. I've got these jacks. These jacks, classic superstars, limited edition. Hey, what's wrong with these guys? These two guys, big guys. There's a pack. You get a hat. You get hats, a water thing. You get a lot of food. Hey, you get the whole bloody deal. I'm just looking in here. Now, one of these, you get a photo with it too, thrown in with it. No extra cost.
Who wants one?
These superstars, classic superstars. Okay, here's the last offer, guys. Classic superstars and this Hasbro. I'll throw in a t-shirt. How's that? Who was the hat for?
That was for Alex.
Alex. I'll sign him a photo too.
Oh, cool.
Does he care which one I'm going to sign? Look, Alex, I'm looking after you. And don't be fucking lazy. Get in that kit. Don't be a Scotsman. What
Alex,
what
do you have a
photo?
preference? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. We've just Luke, Brett would like to buy one of your classic superstars that comes with the picture number 4.
With number 4. Does he know what color he wants me to do? Who's this? Brett.
Brett, I'll bring him back on because he's still in here actually, so I'll quickly chuck him back on the screen.
And what number photo do you want? Number 4. Hey, mate. How you doing, mate?
You've got to unmute
Matt.
yourself there, Brett, down at the bottom.
Sorry, I muted my mic.
I can't hear him.
I muted my mic. Sorry. Can you hear? Can you hear? Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, it looks like Luke's frozen on us now.
Can he not hear me?
I can hear you, but Luke's frozen on us.
Oh, he has.
Sorry. Hang on, give him
Oh,
a
he has
second.
frozen too. Yeah.
Hang on. He'll come back in a
Matt.
second. There we go. He's starting to
Matt,
Yep.
I can hear him all. I can hear him all the time, Matt. Tell him
okay.
that.
All right, cool. Yeah, your connection's gone a little bit funny there, Luke.
Mine.
Yeah.
Take
Can
yourself
you hear
off.
me now?
Take yourself off, Matt, and see if it works. You're frozen, Luke.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's cool. I told Matt to take himself off because I think it was too much. Froze up. You froze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can hear you loud and I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, cool. On the jacks, white paint pen would be cool. Does it work on there?
Yeah.
Yep. Just do your Luke Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay, mate.
I'm hogging camera time here, aren't I?
No, you're fine, mate.
Been on twice.
Any questions, mate?
Oh, I think I'm out of questions from last time.
Yeah.
What was your favourite?
Okay.
Did you ever work with the Rougeau brothers at all?
Yes, that was our second program in WWF. That was the one.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
That's the one we did WrestleMania 4 or 5. WrestleMania in Trump Plaza.
They're amazing. They're amazing in the ring, aren't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't actually get further in the WWF. I was hoping they'd be a lot bigger than they were. They were pretty good in ring.
Yeah, and no, they were pretty big in the 80s, early 80s.
In Canada.
Yeah, yes. I worked with Raymond in 1973 with him and his brother-in-law. He was a bodybuilder, a Mr. Canada. I worked with him. Jock was still a kid then, and that. But Raymond, I worked with. He was still young, and that. A big show they had in Canada.
Did they wrestle in Stampede or not?
No, this was a big show in Montreal where they where the two companies got together, Grand Prix and the Rougeau company. The Rougeaus had their own, their uncle and their dad had their own company.
Who was the owner of Grand Prix?
Grand Prix was the guys that brought us over there. The two Vachons.
Oh,
You know, Mad Dog Vachon,
yeah.
Butcher
Lena
Vachon.
Vachon's dad.
Yeah, but that's Butcher and Edward Carpentier, the Flying Frenchman.
Ah, right.
Now
Um,
I'm going to give you a photo with this doll, mate, with this action figure. Which photo did you want?
number 4.
Number 4, the Madison Square Garden one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked with the Rougeos for about 4 to 6 months around the country, mate. You know, when you're WWE, you know, the super main towns you did once a month. The rest of them you did every 2 months. So, you know, it takes a while to go around.
Yeah, one of my favourite tag matches is actually SummerSlam '88, the British Bulldogs versus the Rougeos.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite tag matches. It's on my top 10.
What
They're
colour do you
awesome
want?
workers, all right.
Yeah, what colour do you want?
What do you think? Does white work on that as well?
Yeah, white.
Could you sign it to my brother? Is that cool?
No, that's cool. What's his name?
Paul, Paul.
Okay, then.
So just right. G'day, Paul, or something.
Yeah, I will.
Tell your mother.
Should I put g'day, mate, or tell your mother?
G'day, mate. I just like saying tell your mother.
Yeah. What are you going to tell her? What are you going to tell her?
It's an open-ended question, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what was your meaning behind it?
No, Butch came up with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody lovely, tell your mother.
I'll have to ask Bob that one, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Butch.
Oh, that's the same. Same guy. Yeah.
I like to try to keep the kayfabe.
How many years have you been watching? How many years have you been watching wrestling, mate?
Oh, since the very early 80s.
Very early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to make me watch stuff in the 70s, but I was a bit young. But it scared me a bit in the 70s when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
And then
did you see much of the sheep herders?
Not until a lot later. I did very early on, but I can't remember it. But yeah, a lot later. And then I think when I really got into it full time, into wrestling full time, was from WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
I watched WrestleMania 3, and then I was right into it right through school. To much ridicule from a lot of people, but I stuck with it.
Yeah.
My wife's not a wrestling fan.
Your wife isn't?
Nah, she's not.
What does she say then with you doing this?
Oh, she doesn't mind. She knows it makes me happy, so.
Yeah.
She doesn't like me spending money on lots of wrestling figures, though, I think, so.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the biggest bone of contention.
Hey, do you drink?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, tell her you're going to cut out the drinking for a day.
That's the one. I had a couple of cold beers before, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
What's the Kiwi beer? What's the Kiwi beer, mate?
Steinlager?
Yeah, Steinlager. Is that what you drink?
Sometimes, yeah. You'd remember DB and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, DB, yeah. The Steinlager's the one like Foster's, the bullshit one for advertising
It
the
is.
country and
That's
that.
the one. Yeah,
But not many people. When I was there, not many people drank Steinlager. But when I got over this side of the world, New Zealand was known for Steinlager.
Yeah, exactly. I drink Heineken mainly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a crisp one, eh? All right, I better not hog too much screen time here, Luke. I've been on twice.
Okay
already.
then. I've got your photo and I've got all this
Cool.
all signed.
I'll send the money through to Matt. I haven't paid him yet. I'll pay him now once I get off.
Okay, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, mate. You have a good
no
night.
problem at all. Respect, man. Take it easy.
You too, mate. Love you. Bye.
Catch you later, brother. You too, brother. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks for jumping back on there, Brett. Final call, everybody.
He got a photo too for his brother. His brother's name is Paul.
Okay, awesome.
Anyone else there, guys? Come on, is there many people still online there, mate?
Yeah, there's still it's dropped down a little bit in the last 10 minutes, but yeah, we're at 6 right now. I'm just talking to Alex. He might be wanting something else here, but he said that he wanted was it number 2? Let me just double check that.
Number 2 is the photo with the bamboo behind it.
Yeah, hang on, let me just double check that here. Yeah, number 2 he said he wanted.
Now who's that for, mate?
That was for Alex. You mentioned that because he brought the hat, you'll give him a 8x10 as well.
Yeah. Didn't I do the hat? Hang on a minute, let me see.
Yeah. You've done the hat already. The hat already. He just wanted the number 2. And
number 2.
Alex, real quick, did you want that signed to you or just the autograph in 2015 Hall of Fame? And then while you're signing, Luke, I'm just going to bring Ruben back on screen. He's just got another question for you that he wants to ask.
Okay, mate. Does he want to sign it to Alex?
I'm just waiting for that response now. He's just seeing it. He'll be responding now. Just WWE Hall of Fame, Bushwhacker Luke. All right, and I'm going to bring Revan back on screen now. He's just got a quick question for you that he wants to ask.
Hey again, Luke. Sorry, I promised that this would be the last of my ugly face. I've got one more question. I thought while you're here, I'm not sure how you're going to feel about this one, but I thought if I don't ask it, then I'd probably regret it. How do I say this? And feel free if you're not too pleased with what I'm about to ask, then you can say whatever you want. I don't care.
You're saying you're really building it up now. Spit it out, mate. Yeah. Spit it out.
So if you can remember, a couple weeks ago, Matt sent you a video of a backyard wrestling organization and asking your thoughts.
Yeah.
And your feedback, well, and I completely understand. You're not the first person to not like what we do, and you won't be the last. But I was wondering what advice you'd have for young up-and-coming wrestlers and what they could do to be better. And in our case, what could we do to improve?
Were you in that?
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. I'm sorry. It's us right there.
Yeah. Now, do you run shows? You run shows for the public?
Yes, we do. We do them for charity, for Starship Hospital. Like those cards that you just signed, that's gonna benefit charity, and people like to come watch.
Yeah. Who taught you? You taught yourself. You taught yourself.
For the most part, I've been to a few training sessions here and there, but for the most part, it's been me.
Yeah. Hey, it's always best to learn. I know people want to jump off the ropes and do all this flying around and all that sort of stuff, and that, but psychology. There was no psychology in what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The psychology is what gets the people. You know, you everybody's watching televised matches. Televised matches are for people sitting at home in the lounge with a clicker in their hand. If there's no action, non-stop action, they change the channel. Now,
That's right.
now, when you go to do a house show or with fans around, you got to change your whole aspect. And everyone's learned from the television, so they don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? They just watch the television, one move after the other. That's why the houses, WWF now, their house shows, if it's not televised, they draw from 4 to 8,000. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they drew 6. A lot of houses are only 2,500 with all those fucking names. You know what I mean? 3,000 because the house shows. As soon as they say it's a television and it's going to be on, that's when the people come. When we were there, if a house show was less than 14,000 people, with even 14,000, we'd say, "What's fucking wrong? Something's wrong." You know what I mean? 15,000, something's wrong. Because we use psychology. We got those people worked up to hate the villains today. I don't know. They don't pull any villains up. Whether they thinking of the stockholders or the public, we can't do this and that because it's a public company. I'm talking about Vince, and you can't do this and that. But look at the television shows, the violence in those, and the ones that get the good ratings of television. It's got violence, and there's always heels in them. You know what I mean? A good show is a baddie, and there's a goodie. Even the crime shows. You know what I mean? All the detective shows, and it's the heel and the baby face, and that. So you were just doing stuff one after another to get to do the wild moves off the corner, dive through the ropes, and that. You know what I mean?
Yes. I completely see what you mean. Yeah.
And two, because you haven't done any of the groundwork, you like to get hurt. Unless you're working with someone, you say, "Oh, I can do that." It's always, you need to practice moves with the person who you're going to do it in a match. Do practice it beforehand that you can do it. Just don't say to the person, "We'll do this in the match," which you haven't done with them before. Some wild move which you've never done with them before. Because this is how, I don't know whether you've seen that video going around down the States. The guy's up on the corner and jumps and breaks the leg. Fucking, that guy, he's got medals and bolts in his legs and these indie stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You're right. Absolutely right.
It's best too to learn how to do a little groundwork, the original stuff from I know it sounds strange, you don't see it anymore, but house shows, you can put a headlock on and then take the guy down and fucking pound him and blah, 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 and then tell him to start working his way up. And then kick in the ribs and use the people, get the people, go, no, and then grab your ribs and that, and then you'll get the people cheering for the good guy because he's starting to hurt you. Once you grind him, but you got to grind him down. Our business is so easy. But the guys don't. There's 3 parts. The baby face shines. Now, when I say that, then there's the heat, and then there's the go home, and the finish. The finish is in the go home. Well, when I say now the baby face shines, he doesn't run over the heel. What I mean by shine, he comes out on top. Heel takes over, but the babyface comes out on top. You know what I mean? You do a spot where the heel takes him down and grinds him down, and then they do the spot where the heel out, the babyface outsmarts him, comes up, drop kicks him, or does something with a big forearm. The guy takes a bump, rolls out. That's how you get the start. If the heel bumps for the babyface all over the ring at the start, the people have already seen the finish of the match. Because you save the big bumps for the finish. You know what I mean? That's why these comebacks today at the end, they don't get the pop after the heat, because they've already seen the heel get bumped everywhere at the start. You've got to build it up so the people want to see that heel get bumped everywhere. Every time the heel, when you're giving the babyface the shine at the start, when the babyface comes out on top or one drop kick or does something, the heel takes one or two moves and scoots. He doesn't get his ass kicked. You know what I mean? He scoots out of it, because then the people say you're chicken shit and they get pissed off. He won't take the pounding, and the heel can play on that. You know what I mean? When he takes over and gets the heat, and then when the babyface blows wide open at the end, and you do your false finishes, and maybe the heel cuts some off, gets a false finish, and the people fucking cheer when the babyface kicks out, and then the babyface comes back on top. You know, you try to keep the fucking comeback up here. If you take him down and the heel stays down, the comeback goes south. You've got to keep it up here till you get the finish. But most of the comebacks, they go south. And then when they do the 1, 2, 3, you get the and the pop on the end, but it's mellow. You know what I mean? You're not getting that explosion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's using psychology, but that takes take time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Luke. That is
Yeah.
far beyond the answer I was.
Our business is very simple, mate. But guys make it hard.
That's right.
Guys
that's right.
make it hard. It's a simple. Using psychology is very simple. And you say, so you guys are doing all that fucking stuff at the start, flying stuff and heavy stuff at the start, and then you're going to do the same thing at the end. They've already seen it at the start, so there's no really big excitement in the finish.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. Thank you so much. For
You're
those
welcome,
words,
mate.
I'll pass it on to the rest of the team. It's so valuable what you've just said, and for any other upcoming
I've done a lot of seminars, and one day I might do a seminar online explaining the simple parts of the business. You know what I mean? If you lay it out simply, it's easy to see. It's easy to see how it works to the best.
Yeah, if you're doing one of those online seminars, sign me up. I'd absolutely love to.
I will tell Matt if I do one of them.
Thank you. That means so much that you've said that. So much to take in. Yeah, thank you so much, Luke.
Following wrestling on television is not a house show. You know what I mean? Because the promoters tell you we've got to sell action to keep the people watching the show.
That's right. That's right. Very good point. It's changed a lot. It really has.
You're welcome, mate.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Luke. And I hope you get some sleep. It's so late.
I'm okay, mate.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Luke. And hope to see you over here again next year.
Yep, I hope to be over there, mate. Let's hope this fucking virus gets caught in the wind and blows away.
I know, right? Well, as soon as you're able to come, I'd love to meet you in person. Thank you very much for your time,
mate.
Luke.
I appreciate it, mate. And it's good for you good to talk to you, mate, and you ask those questions. At least you're willing to learn. A lot of people, young people today, have got it in their mind that they know it all. Hey, I'm still learning, mate. Life is a learning tree. You know what I mean? Evolution of time. Things change. You know, things change for the better in time.
That's right. Very right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're
not
welcome,
many
mate.
people, like you said, are willing to admit that. So,
Yeah.
seriously, it does mean a hell of
Yeah,
a
we're
lot.
all learning. We're all learning.
Couldn't be more true.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Just to top that off, I'm just going to say here, you know, today the fans come to watch a cavalcade of superstars do death-defying moves. You know what I mean? Yesterday they come to see the babyface beat that bad heel. And look at Muhammad Ali. I know he's well before your time, but he used to shoot his mouth off that he sold out pay-per-view and big buildings, you know, outdoor shows and that, 50,000, 60,000 back in the 60s and that, because people come to see him get knocked out because he
I
shot his
love
mouth
it.
off. You know, he was a villain. He copied George's Buddy Rogers and Gorgeous George. Because they could talk and piss the people off, and he did. He talked and pissed the people off.
Smart business, and you see it a lot nowadays in MMA and boxing. Or Floyd Mayweather, he's the master of it.
Yes, he's a master of it. Yeah.
So many of those UFC guys save their career talking their mouth off.
Yeah. Okay, matey, you have a good night. God bless. I'll see you when I come down.
Thank you, Luke. Same to you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Alrighty. There we go. Did you manage to finish that 8x10 and all that conversation?
That 8x10, who was that for now?
That was for Alex, the bamboo.
Yeah, the hat. Yeah, yes. I just signed a WWE Hall of Famer 2015 Bushwhacker Luke.
Awesome. Yep, that's cool. Perfect. And hopefully you remember Aaron Hanade.
Who's that?
Aaron Hanade.
Yeah.
He popped in and said hello. He just said, let Luke know I say hello.
G'day, mate. Aaron, right?
Yeah, Aaron, yes.
G'day, mate. How you doing, Aaron? Hope you're all staying healthy with this coronavirus.
So I think that's pretty much everything here, Luke. It doesn't look like anyone else is really biting on your amazing deals.
No one wants to get the combination, one of those, with a shirt thrown in.
Morgan says hello as well. You'll have to
How
convince
you
Morgan
doing,
to buy
Morgan?
something off you.
How you doing, Morgan? Doing okay, mate?
Well, why don't you quickly run through those deals again? If we don't get a bite within maybe 2-3 minutes, we might just call it there.
Yeah. Okay. With the lunchbox, you get a signed photo. Now, with the belt, you get thrown in a t-shirt. Price the belt, you get thrown in a t-shirt. And with this Hasbro, dear folks, it's one of they're very hard to get, find today, and that I'm going to throw in a t-shirt. I got 2 t-shirts. I got the Oh Yeah, the one I'm wearing, and I've got the other shirt from the 80s, the Bushwhacker Luke, Bloody Lovely Tell Your Mother.
Awesome.
That's the deals.
So Morgan's just said he'll grab an 8x10, but we'll just wait for the payment proof. And then, Morgan, you want to jump on and just say hello to Luke real quick? I'll send you the invite link and you can decide. 40 New Zealand, Morgan. If you ask nicely, he might give you a deal of something else. Depending on what you want, of course. If you need a drink or anything, Luke, just go do that now if you need to.
I've got aqua here right there, H2O.
That's the one.
Yeah. Hey, the water bottles over there, are they made out of thin plastic now, mate?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So thin. Yeah, so thin in that. Even if you suck hard on it, and it's slow, the sides come in.
Yeah.
Over here, they're made so thin today.
Oh, they're a little bit thicker than that. Like they hold their shape. Like I have to squeeze it quite hard.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife just bought me this water bottle. It's hard as a rock, and it keeps
That's what you need.
it keeps the stuff cold.
Yeah. You're doing it all wrong though. You need to go to China and get some Bushwhacker Luke ones made up.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get those pop. What are they called? Pop heads or what are they?
Pop vinyls?
No, the little heads.
Like these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call
Pop
some of the
vinyls.
heads? Huh?
Pop vinyls.
They're little heads, are they?
Yeah, they're like a figure.
Yeah.
Just a massive head on a small body.
Yeah. Yeah. After Christmas, I'm getting some of those.
Oh yeah. All right, what are we doing?
Okay,
here, Morgan?
folks, we got now. We give me offers for the stuff. We've still got one more. The Super Wrestling Superstars limited edition. I've got packs. I've got numerous packs of what are they called now? Battle packs.
Those battle packs look really awesome when they're signed too, guys.
Yeah, the battle packs.
And remember, guys, anything you get signed, there's a high chance that we'd be able to get Butch to get Butch to sign it here as well, which is
Everything I sign. If you want to leave it with Matt when it comes over, you can send it down to Butch, and he'll do something with Butch, a deal with Butch, and I know Butch will be kind enough to sign them for a really reasonable price.
Yeah. We're just obviously in the works of organizing all that, but the chances of it happening is pretty good, I'd say. We've just got to finalize everything.
Yeah. Anything, guys? Photos, these action packed dolls, the Hasbro's still there, the battle pack, and the limited edition superstars. Got those. And I got photos. I got a belt. I've thrown a T-shirt, and of course the Hasbro there. I'll throw in a T-shirt.
Well, there you go. If you get by the Hasbro, you get a T-shirt too, Alex. We're just waiting on Morgan. He's just paying now for a 8x10.
Morgan.
Yeah. And then Morgan will hopefully come up on screen and say hello as well. Hopefully he doesn't get too camera shy on us.
And I hope to be getting these rings soon. You know, when I get the rings, we'll come online or we'll do something where we'll do something where I'll talk to you, set it up with Matt, and we'll get rid of some rings.
Yep, that sounds awesome. Notification. All right, Morgan, jump on. Let's get you in here. Morgan's paid. Otherwise, we're all going to have to peer pressure you as well. Come say hello, Morgan. Trust me, he's not that scary.
Hey, where are you, Morgan? You're hiding from us, mate.
He's seeing the link, so he must be jumping on right now. Are you tired yet, Luke?
No, I can. You know, if there's people there, I'm wide awake.
Jeez,
It's slow times like this that you get lazy, and that. But if there's anyone there who wants to bullshit and talk, I'm right here. And where's this Morgan?
Oh, he's taking a sweet time, isn't he?
Can't you bring him Can't you bring him up on the screen, or is he?
No,
he's not even
showing in the room yet.
Isn't he?
No, there's just Brett still there. Brett's on his phone. So you were obviously in the business store when the whole WWF versus WCW thing was happening?
No.
No?
I wasn't with WWF then. That was 2000.
Okay. Oh, yeah, just a few years after.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. But I came to that WrestleMania that time because Johnny Ace was there. They asked me to come, and I was a friend, and Johnny Ace was already hired by Vince, but no one sort of knew him because Vince didn't bring any of the WrestleMania that time. Vince didn't bring any of the WCW boys there. They had a box in WrestleMania, but they could watch it up on the top. But the after party and all that, no one else was there. Johnny was. That was it.
Right. All right. So Morgan's finally showed up. So I'm going to get my ugly mug off the screen and bring his on. How's that?
That's good. Hey, Morgan.
You're muted, Morgan.
Are you there, Morgan?
Unmute button.
G'day. How's it going?
Bloody lovely, tell your mother.
That's good. How's things over there?
Good. Where were you? We've been waiting for you for so long. Did you take a taxi?
I've been watching for like the last 2 hours or so. And I finally just decided to jump in and I was like, oh, yeah, why not? So here I am.
Why not? Where are you from, mate?
Nelson.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, mate. I remember we used to work Nelson. That's in the 60s.
Did you? Oh wow.
Yes, we used to do South Island, and that was the last place we used to do Nelson.
Huh.
Down there.
I didn't know
that. Then go over to is it Greymouth? No, what's there?
Yep.
What's the little where the ferry runs?
Greymouth, Westport. That's pretty much all I know on the south the coast.
No, right down the end there where the ferry runs from Wellington to somewhere over by there, not Nelson.
Picton.
Picton. Yeah, Picton. Does it still run there to Picton?
Yep, it still goes. The ferries are still operating.
Yeah, they used to be run a few times a day there.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
that's where we used to take the ring over on the ferry. You know, the
Yep.
wrestling ring and that, and then how far is it from Nelson to Picton? An hour?
Yeah, about an hour and a half, an hour.
Yeah, yeah. We used to take the ring over there, and then the car then start our tour. Either would finish up in Nelson or go up to Christchurch, and
Oh
start
right.
there. Yeah,
Oh wow. Yeah, I've got
yeah.
a pretty cool story. Do you remember? Well, of course, I'm pretty sure everyone in New Zealand remembers Stephen Rickard, the wrestler.
Steve Rickard. Steve Rickard.
Steve
He was the
Rickard.
promoter. Steve
Yep,
Rickard.
yep.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a funny story when I was about probably 10 maybe. I was looking at an op shop in Nelson through like the magazines, like the wrestling
Yeah.
ones, of course, and this old fella comes up behind me with a walking stick and says, do you like wrestling? I'm like, yeah. And he tells me a story and tells me, he used to be a big time wrestler, and Steve Rickard says he like wrestled the likes of Ric Flair and Andre the Giant and all that.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked at him funny. I was like, I don't know if I really believe you, eh? But then because being that age, 10, you're like, the only really people I know is the Undertaker and John Cena.
Yeah.
But no, I went home and looked him up, and what do you know? He's a big, big deal.
No, well, let me tell you now. It was him. You looked him up. It was the same guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Steve Rickard owned the promotion and owned the
Oh, right.
promotion, and
Yeah.
that was what was it called? He bought the other people out. He was running from 1970, and that no, sorry, he was running from 1960, but he was only running shows now and again,
Right.
and
Okay.
then maybe 3 times a year, 4 times a year, when someone came in, he'd run for about a week or two, a couple of shows a week, and that in
Okay.
'68 he bought the other company out, who was running full time, John De Silva, and he went in with the American promoter Jim Barnett, who owned WCW.
Oh, yeah.
WCW.
Oh, wow.
You heard of WCW, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they had a big run in the '90s.
Yeah.
That's when the wars were on between WWF and
Yeah, that's right.
and WCW. And now Steve Rickard used WCW was in Australia. The guy that owned WCW, he opened up Australia. He was American millionaire, and he opened up on Australia in '65. So when Steve Rickard bought the thing out in New Zealand in '86 and '68, he started bringing Americans over from there. And just, long story short, he brought Andre the Giant over before he came to North America, and
Right.
Butch and me worked with Andre the Giant. Steve Rickard was his partner. He never wrestled against Andre. Him and the promoter had Andre as his partner, and we worked against them all around New Zealand. Andre
Wow.
and Steve Rickard. Only in the
Man.
big cities like Christchurch, Wellington, Auckland, Hamilton, and Dunedin.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's really fascinating.
that was that. Yeah, Steve Rickard was the Commonwealth champion. Of course, being the promoter, he could be any champion. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, he was on a walking stick. Now, what year was this,
Yeah.
mate?
Oh, I would have been 10, so probably 8 years ago. 8 years
He's
ago.
dead. He's dead now.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It's really sad. I remember actually going home because I, thought he may have, moved to New Zealand or something like that because I heard he was living in Aussie at the time.
Yeah,
and he may have come over for a trip or something.
His son is running in the motels on the Golden Coast over there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You
wow.
heard of Service Paradise?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, in Australia. Well, they've got apartments on motels, a string of motels there, and Steve was living there. His wife died earlier, and he moved over there. But he
Oh,
was from he was from Napier. You know, when they had the
oh, okay.
funeral, he was in Napier. You know, that's
Right.
where he's from. I wrestled
Oh,
Steve
okay.
Rickard. I wrestled Steve Rickard many times.
Yeah. I
He
bet that
didn't
would have
like
been a
to.
good.
He didn't move around too much. He was a drunk. I
Right.
shouldn't say
Okay.
that. He's dead. He's dead now, but he likes to drink and that. And
Yeah.
we had to work around him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
move. He didn't move around much, but he was
Okay.
getting on. He was getting
Yeah.
on. He would be now. He would have been in the 80s. You know,
Yep.
85, 86.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know all that about him. I was meant to like yeah, like I was saying, I was as like being that age, I went home and was like scrolling through the phone books trying to find this guy's number. I don't know why, but you know, I felt kind of like bad because I kind of like shrugged him off of it, just because being that age and just, oh yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. But no, just looking back on it, I was,
How old
um,
are you now, mate?
19, just turned.
19, yeah. So you're at the
Yeah,
age where he's handing me bullshit. Did you go and look him up on the computer?
yeah,
Did you look
yep. That
at
was the
yeah,
first thing I did.
yeah,
What's that? Sorry?
yeah. He started, and he started the first wrestling show in New Zealand. You know, WWE
Yeah,
was coming in 1975, 76. We were in Canada, and he butchered me, and he brought us back to New Zealand for the first wrestling TV show wrestling. It was called On the Mat. If you look
yeah,
that up,
yep,
On the Mat,
yeah, yep.
and of course Ernie Leonard was the voice on it. On the Mat was Ernie Leonard. Steve Rickard would be on it too, doing the voiceovers and all that too.
Right, yep. Wow.
He got two sons. He's got three sons. One is running Tony, who was a referee, and then
Yep.
Ricky, and Ricky was a wrestler in the late
Oh wow.
70s and 80s. He was wrestling for Steve and that, but Ricky was 190 pounds. Wrestling guy's 300 pounds.
Man.
Yeah, no, and going over and winning because he was a promoter's son.
Yeah.
And that's what killed the business in New Zealand. You know,
Yep.
people didn't believe it. These are big American stars, and this little guy, he had fire and everything. Ricky, and now I'm not going. He had a good little body, but a guy 180, 185 working
Yeah.
against big Americans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's life, anyhow. Morgan, did you want
Yeah.
a photo? Did you want one of these
Oh,
photos here?
yeah, I'd love one. That'd be great. Thank you.
I'm gonna. Did he tell you the price?
Yep, I've put the money through.
Let me show you what photos we've got.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So you've been a wrestling fan since you've been 10.
Pretty much. Before then, I was, searching through the wrestling magazines, and that's how I stumbled across them.
Now
Yep,
there's number 4. That's the Madison Square Gardens.
yep.
Number 3.
Yep.
Number 2.
Okay.
Put your head out. I hit you with a chair.
Well, no, I'll probably go with number 4. That one looks great. That'd be great. Thank you.
Now, the referee in that was, we had some great broadcasters in WWF teams. Like we had Jesse Ventura, who was the governor of he's been in a lot of movies with Arnold, and he was the
Yeah.
governor of Minnesota. And that him and Vince were a great couple. And then the next couple was Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. Have you
Yeah.
heard of them?
Yep.
Have you seen any
Yeah.
of that? Yeah. Well,
Yep.
that's
Definitely.
the referee here is Gorilla Monsoon's son at the back here,
Oh wow.
and
I didn't
he
realize
got
that.
killed. He got killed in a car crash.
Oh no.
We had 2 shows to do, and then the second show was in Maryland, and we're coming down from Connecticut, which is up on the east coast above New York, and they're coming
Yeah.
down. And I don't know what happened, but there was another guy in the car. He was alive, but Grilla's son got killed in the car crash. It was sad.
That's a real shame, eh?
Yeah. Okay, so Morgan, g'day mate, WWE Hall of Famer, Bushwhacker Luke.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Okay, matey.
So out of like the current wrestlers today, like who would you say is like your favorite, if you can pick?
I'm watching today. No, I say one of the best ones there is Randy Orton.
Yep. Okay. What do you think of AJ Styles?
Very good.
Very good. No, he's a good bloke. No,
yeah,
I met
good
him when he
Blake.
came. I met him
Did
when he
ya?
came to a meet and greet in Auckland. I think it was 2016. No, he's a really
Yeah.
nice fella, right?
Yeah.
Like really down to earth. And
Oh yeah, he is. He's really down to earth, straight up, and one hell of a hand in the ring. One hell of a hand.
yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
And it
very
seems
good.
over time he's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, you can't really compare it to his TNA days, but you know, still very good for especially his age.
Yeah. How old is he now?
I believe. Ruben would like disown me because I don't know, because I'm claimed to be his his biggest fan, but I'm gonna say like he's in his. Oh, that's a tricky one.
His 40s.
40s. Yes.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll save you.
I
He's
believe
43.
so. Surely, Matt, you can help in on this one.
He's 43.
Oh, that's so cool. You even spelled my name right. Look at that. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, mate.
It was great
welcome.
talking to you. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to. I was half asleep. I'm like walking around in my boxes, but you know. Thank you so much for doing this day. Yeah.
You're welcome, mate. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It was hard to haul you in. We were waiting to haul you in, but you got it in the end.
You got my hands in my pockets and pulling out my wallet. That's the way you did it.
Mate, how's the weather? How's the weather down there?
It's actually been pretty bad. It hasn't stopped raining for the last week.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. It's good though.
No, yeah. Did you have a cold winter, or the winter was okay?
It was pretty warm actually. There was definitely some cold days, but overall it was pretty warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, mate. Anyhow, you take care, Morgan. God bless.
You Thank you
and
so
I
much.
hope to see you.
You
I hope to see you when I'm over there next time.
Yep, 100%. Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you so
mate.
much.
You're
okay,
welcome.
Take care. See ya.
Take care, mate. See ya. Okay, Matt, load him up. Okay, Matt, load him up. Load him up.
I've been trying. There's no one else. It just seems to just be Britt here now.
Yeah.
I think we've taken everyone's money. Look, I don't think there's going to be anyone else now.
Okay, mate.
So what we'll do is we'll call it quits here. Is there anything you want to kind of plug, social medias, any future projects coming out, just before we send you off?
No, I've got a show next week, but I haven't advertised it yet.
Yep.
I got another one. I got another one of these next week.
Cool. It's fine. Well, if you wanna find out when that is, and if you've decided that you've gone, oh shit, I wish I purchased something here, go follow Bushwhacker Luke on Instagram. He's on Facebook, bushwhackerluke.com. Yeah, a few different avenues. To
Okay,
keep up
mate.
with what he's doing.
And when I get the rings, Matt, we'll come
Yep.
on again, and we'll come on again at maybe a bit earlier time and do it, and do a short one with the rings.
Now that sounds cool, and we can maybe even just offer pre-orders only for other items.
Yeah, you check. Yeah, okay, we can do a ring, and hang on a minute, just let me look here. I was doing rings and T-shirts before, and then 80 and 70, $100.50. Yeah, we can do a ring and a T-shirt for $1.30.
$1.30, what a steal!
130, mate. 130. That's $150 deal. It's a $150 deal. You can do it for 130. You can do a few things for the people.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll definitely we'll keep in touch over it anyway. We'll figure it out for everyone.
Yeah, and I'll call you tomorrow, and then I'll get everything packed, and call you. I won't be sending it out till next week.
No rush at all. No rush at all.
Okay, mate.
Well, thank you for jumping on, Luke, and thanks to everybody for tuning into the first episode of Chats with Wrestlers. Again, thanks, Luke, for jumping on. And I think you need to give us a woe to send us off.
Okay, guys. Thank you for coming on. If anyone's still around at this time of night, remember, the Bushwhacker loves you guys. Whoa! Yay! And if you were there, I'd give you a good head licking. How about that?